joining us for episode 16 of the Astral Circus here on happyjacksrpg Network. To find all the previous episodes, you go to happyjacks.org. And a quick message from our sponsor, Magical Michael's Mushroom Emporium wants you to know, are your mushrooms kind of short, kind of thin? Mushroom cap's a little unsatisfying? You need stock grow. You can head on down to Magical Michael's Mushroom Emporium and pick up stock grow for thicker, longer shafts and meatier, plumper caps. And yeah, that's Magical Michael's Mushroom Emporium. Thank you for your sponsorship, Magical Michael's. That's fantastic. And if you're interested in sponsoring the show, you could go to Patreon and help us out there so we don't have to take on ads like that. But anyway, I'm Jason. I'm your GM, and everything's fine and good. I'm Jason Humanman, and I'm a regular human man. Last week, I did computer science dirty. I cheated you out of a simple binary search of these slides, and I'm embarrassed. I was re-listening to it, and I could have just had you do a binary search, which is, you could have asked the augury spell, out of the 12, is it this 6?
Oh.
Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you've eliminated half of them, right?
That's
and then
true.
is it these 3? Yes or no? Is it this 2? Right? At most, you would have had to do 4 castings of augury if you wanted to spend all the spell
We got there
slots.
eventually.
We sure did, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I, a professional computer scientist and teacher of such, did not think to apply binary search logic.
It's okay. We all get there.
I feel
Yeah,
really
We all
silly.
get there in the end.
I think it was very on brand D&D wise to slurp a shaft down one of those.
Sure, yeah.
A couple.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
slurped a couple of
Couple of
shafts.
shafts.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Right
got
down the
to
canal.
lick the mushroom.
Yeah.
Did like the
Turn
mushroom.
into a
Yes.
potted plant.
Ill-advised, but
Content warning, sometimes we turn into potted plants. Sometimes we turn people inside out. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on here. It's gross and squishy and sometimes sexy at the same time. Not always at the same time. It's rated R.
any of the
So,
above.
Yeah.
Things are happening. Things
we-
happen.
We have safety tools in place that lets us be weird and gross and fun. And I hope you use them too. Let's start in the middle. Sam.
That's me. Hi everybody, I'm Sam, still and allegedly. I use they, them pronouns, and this time I am here not to play Jaden Sapphire, but to play Night Friend, your friendly neighborhood mushroom druid. Yeah,
All right.
I like mushrooms.
Hi, I am Pooja, no pronouns, and I am playing, as always, Ezthe Perah. This time much younger, friendly neighborhood tiefling martial sorcerer, who is having a jaunt into the Underdark, completely on purpose. This was planned.
Yeah.
Planned and definitely did not bonk their head in a river and end
No.
up at the Underdark.
No, not at all.
This didn't go sideways at all.
Never. Everything planned to the T.
Hi everybody, I am Jay, and I am also a nondescript human person allegedly. And I use he, him pronouns. I usually play Brutus Bucks, the Giff monk, but today I am playing the Myconid Ranger, who is accompanying our little group of adventurers and hopefully keeping everybody safe and getting home with our lives intact.
Excellent.
To a definition of home.
Now,
Right, yeah.
I was thinking about this also. Mike did. We probably don't have to do a face cast. I mean, maybe if you had a voice cast in mind, if you didn't want to voice the character yourself, that might be interesting. But also for our Goliath Druid, Goliaths are frequently 6.5 to 7 feet tall, right, and quite well built, right. You're more of a long, lanky, right?
Yeah.
And I was picturing like if Uma Thurman was 6 inches taller.
Oh yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like it would be that kind of, because Gwendolyn Christie's a little too burly, right?
Yes,
Like, not
yeah.
too burly, but like for your character.
For this
Right?
particular character, yes.
Gwendolyn Christie is perfectly formed the way she is, but
I'd agree.
would not be perfect casting for this.
Correct.
Whereas Uma Thurman has sort of that like, I'm a skeleton on the weekends. Not I don't know. I think she's lovely as well. Everyone to their own.
But if you add 6 inches to Uma Thurman,
yes,
but no mass.
yeah, I think we could add a little mass for the Goliath because
Okay.
is your strength 8?
It is 8. No, it's 10.
It's 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
okay.
average for a Goliath, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not.
But she's not like super buff. She's more like of a gangly
Yeah.
Goliath. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the Constitution?
Constitution is.
That's the other measure of thickness.
That's a great question. 16.
Oh, that's very high, right? That's a very
Yeah.
sturdy person right there.
Yeah.
So.
You gotta get through the lichens too, though.
Yes. Yes.
The growth.
Yeah.
I think Spore Druid is one of the most fun subclasses.
It's yucky. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah, circle sport.
I'm also loving your symbiotic armor.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that that this is not going to be important later. Did you have a thought for?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking actually Benedict Cumberbatch, but with that American accent from August Osage County.
Sure, yeah,
little weird effect thrown in.
yeah,
yeah.
because he's almost good at an American accent.
Yeah.
I started watching Smoke, and Taron Egerton is in
Oh,
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
His American accent is so good, I forgot halfway through the first episode.
Huh.
I was listening for it, like, oh, I'm gonna get you.
I'm not gonna lie. So, the former lead on All American, which is a show I've worked on since season 1, Daniel Ezra is British,
Hmm.
but he keeps up his American accent almost completely
Wow.
throughout whenever we're
Nice.
shooting.
That's impressive.
So whenever I hear him in interviews, or then like at the end of the season,
Yeah.
like everybody always, you're talking whatever, they make a speech, and I'm always like, oh yeah, British.
Yeah, that's always fun. Okay. Also, just a little note for us in general, and it includes Dion and myself. We are lovely and delightful people, and good Lord, do we get sidetracked. So this is just a group huddle reminder of we will mostly stay on track. Also, the audience enjoys our sidetracks, but we have a limited amount of time, and
Let's get some playing.
and this is as much to me as anyone. Okay, so that's and so the audience knows that we have thought about this and put some.
We tried.
effort
Audience.
in.
We try so hard.
We really do.
Yeah.
We really do. Okay, so we have slid down these incredible slime luges. What, you didn't think you were gonna get out of this unslimy, did you?
I have restrained myself so well in not licking my arm again,
Sure.
or another part of my body
It would probably do something different if you did it again.
soon.
You've only done it once. That's
I
not
know,
a data
that's-
set.
Oh, what now?
That's not even anecdata.
Ezthe is like, it will always be a potted plant forever.
I've got the chart.
Data sets are not Ezthe's strong suit.
What if I rolled it again and we got potted plant again?
That
Then-
would be
then
amazing.
It would be cemented of like there is no other
Forever.
thing that can happen here. If I ever need to hide as a potted plant, look, I can just lick this, and then when you're trying to hide and you accidentally cast fireball at your feet, you will probably still be hidden
Also Tuesday.
as ash. See, God, we just did it again.
Oops.
This is about the characters, though.
We were going down the slide.
Development.
Yes,
Yeah, this
yes.
is
So down the sides, and we found we were on a large, sort of like a rocky bridge, right? And that you can see off either sides. You can see if you sort of come in to left or right by much. The bridge is only about 10 feet wide, or 2 squares approximately, depending on how you like to think about these sorts of things. And it curves up and over to the right, where then it is you can see somebody followed this bridge and then used this as a space to like carve. Like if you just took half of a giant pool noodle and scooped away some of the wall of stone there, it's that perfect semicircle tubular shape. So the path that you can see down there is this, you can follow this inside curve, and then you can see just at the far end of your vision from having just rode down the slide, there is, it looks like you can see the tops of some bibberbang floating. If you follow that curved half a tunnel, I guess is another thing to call it, right? Is kind of what it looks like.
Sweet. Let's go not get bung. Dang.
Jay, what was your character's name again?
Oh, Ver.
Ver.
Yeah. VIR.
VIR and Night Friend. I need both of you to roll nature or survival, whichever one's better. You don't get to roll.
Nature.
Survival.
It's
Wait,
fine. Neither
no.
of these things would go well for me
Yeah.
anyway.
Survival, because I think you told me last time that this one was wrong. My survival says +3 and nature says +4. One of those is not correct.
Well, no, because the nature is based on intelligence and you add your wisdom modifier to it.
Oh, okay.
But survival should have your wisdom modifier on it.
It does.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, then you must have gotten a +1 to nature somehow. Maybe an item or...
I'm proficient in it.
Yeah. And what level are these characters?
6.
6?
Yeah, I think they're 6.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna roll nature.
Yep, that's...
5th level.
Okay, Jacket made it.
The dice are mad.
22 minutes
what I was-
into... Including our 10-minute pre-show.
It is real warm today in the studio, y'all.
Yeah, folks, it's probably like 90 degrees in here.
Mhm.
Not an exaggeration, right? Like that's just how it goes sometimes. We can't run the AC all day when there's nobody in here.
Mhm.
And then it's hot and it's 5 p.m. Pacific time in Southern California. So,
We got
It's
a
toasty.
9.
Oh,
the
okay.
dice are mad.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
Okay.
23.
Good job, Ver.
So,
Thank
Ver,
God.
that looks like the kind of mark, like there must have been more rock here at some point. Like maybe it's all tumbled away. Like also the bottom of this bridge is just open space, right? But the side of this tunnel, you're going over the bridge. I'm going to take this, into another part of the cave to see where you are. But it really looks like the way that it's cut, you could see some kind of like ripples in it. And that it's not people with tools did this, but something like maybe a purple worm or something like that. And this is a worm that would be, say, 10 feet around.
About
Or
10 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means it would be quite long and dangerous
Sure.
and
Yeah.
scary.
Right. Heard that before.
But it's not here now.
Okay. All right.
So what's the worst that could happen?
Do I see any other signs of anything else that I might have to worry about?
Let's roll
Or we
investigation.
might have to worry about? Okay, I'm not so great at that one. 12.
It doesn't, like, you don't see any intentional traps.
Okay.
Right? I'll give you that one. Like, you can tell most of the space down here was sort of naturally hewn out, either erosion, worm movement, and the worms are dumb animals. Like they'll just carve back and forth until a bunch of stuff collapses. So it could be they've collapsed. Then they're all down below now because they ran out of stuff to dig.
Right.
So it's probably perfectly safe.
Well,
But it's worth noting that there aren't really signs of people being here.
sure.
Right? And if, like, for instance, the drow, they truck in above world and down here, and noble stock is extremely valuable. Even Bibberbang, if you could collect it properly. I mean, you can't collect the plant, but if you could collect the gas without exploding yourself, that is useful. They would be here harvesting it, right? So they must not know about it, or they know about it and they choose not to come for some reason.
Yeah.
Wait, so if we can trap the floaty brains,
What?
then we can
What?
trade with people who come through the Underdark.
Y-
Because the floaty brains are full of peppermint gas.
you want to try to catch one of those? You want to try to catch one of the Grell?
I mean, maybe one day. Not right now. Not right now. We need
Oh.
to get some noble stock. But like,
Okay.
it's a thought for later.
It sure is.
That sure is a thought for later.
We have like no concept of commerce in the Myconid colony
Yeah,
in our
you're-
circle.
Like even beyond socialist, because you're not hive mind, but a shared
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
You know? You're in each other's business all the time. If somebody needs something, you just do it. 'cause-
Yeah. So
They
I'm
need
kind of going to that sparks my interest again in the whole like, oh, okay, maybe this is an overworld thing. But I do let you know that like the thing we just slid on
Mm-hmm.
is not, I mean, it's technically a natural thing, but there are these big creatures that dwell down here, that dwell here. It's not down here.
Well, we have gone down from where the circle is.
That's true. That's true. But if they're still around, we'd best be careful.
Okay, so we should tread quietly.
They have a tendency of eating smaller creatures like us in one gulp.
I would prefer to be not eaten today.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. Or at least not by a worm.
Yeah. So just as a quick little, I don't know if you all have a picture of it, but notice the little guy at the bottom of the picture
That's a
For-
little guy.
for scale. That's a normal man.
Oh, that's a little spiky guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, one of the things that, well, let's see who knows this. Let's all just do a history check, and whoever rolls highest, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
14.
8.
11.
Okay, 14 gets it. No, that's great because it's like a myth, right? But it's not a myth. It's a story you heard, and you're like, wait, is this true? And when Ezthe mentions it, you're like, yeah, these guys are dumber than the rocks they eat. There is no malice. There's no good or evil in them. They are just, it's like the wind or a lightning strike or a flood, right? They are just an animate natural disaster, right? And they are like, their intelligence cannot be lower in this game. It is not allowed to also then be a living creature. So
Dumbest worm
There-
in game. Got it.
Could use a different word.
uh,
They're really, really not smart. Like, if they were any less smart, they couldn't be alive.
They make up for that with other features, I guess.
I heard this story about a wizard who was trying to see if they could train one of these worms. And it instead destroyed the entire academy the wizard was studying at. It tunneled right through the center of the tower and then spiraled down. Which sounds like it would have been really pretty, except then there was no structural integrity
It does sound bad for the tower.
yeah,
and it
people-
collapsed on everyone.
People died screaming. Yeah, it's the sort of thing. But yeah, they will just munch Pac-Man through life. And if they accidentally eat a town, like, whoop, burp, but they're not hunting people, right? They don't want to eat meat. They just sometimes do because when they're big, they're real big.
Because the people are in front of them.
Right. The size class in D&D, like purple worm as like an adult purple worm is gargantuan,
Oh, wow.
which I think is 20 feet.
It's generally so big that you can't really measure it in squares anymore.
Yeah, because it's large, huge, giant. No, there's something between huge and gargantuan.
Huge.
I thought.
Large, huge. No, I think it's huge and gargantuan.
Yeah, but then gargantuan is not a set thing. It's just like it's this big and bigger.
Yeah. Anything that's like 4 squares and like larger than that.
Yeah, and so this thing would be like 2 squares wide, and the length of the map. Let's say, if it was a full adult. Of course, there were little ones.
Relative little, though.
Yeah, and they definitely cribbed from Dune's sandworms for this. Okay, that's no reason to pretend otherwise. But yeah, they're very pretty purple color. Their scales are valuable. People like purple worm scales. Probably we learned in Baldur's Gate that their gullets are quite useful in making certain poisons. Which probably means they're good at making medicine too, because that's usually the 2 sides of medicine, right? Of like, if you have the wrong amount, it's poison. If you have the right amount, it's good for you. Whoop.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So if it's small enough and we get it, that would be good. But probably not gonna happen.
Well, the mark that you're seeing on the wall here was made by a full adult gargantuan purple worm. We don't know how long ago that was. It certainly wasn't like today, right? Like this whole place looks like it's very old. And just the worm passing through would have set off some bibberbang and just the the rumble of it moving through. So yeah, they are just mindlessly moving through, and when attacked, they'll defend themselves. But if they notice that they've been attacked. So yeah, and it's the sort of thing where like even if you came across some young ones, it would be like a public service to do them in, because they're not like a real useful part of the ecology. Let's call them invasive species.
Okay.
They're more destructive. Like nothing can feed on them. They don't help the ecology in any way. They just destroy. So. Like a hurricane is more useful than a purple worm. Like at least that sort of moves water around and whatever. But yeah.
Either way, that looks like a lot of bibberbang down there, so we're probably fine. No, I'm sorry. It is not very Ezthe to say we're probably fine. So we're definitely fine.
There it
And
is.
we should go get the noble stock.
There it is. Yeah.
While listening carefully for signs of worms.
Yes, at the very least.
Someone should definitely do that.
Does it look like there is a safe way through all of the explosive underground flora?
Well, we'll have to hike over the bridge and through the half tunnel.
Okay,
right.
All right.
And again, you're walking in this like half of a round tunnel.
Yeah.
It's relatively flat-ish at the bottom, right? So you're not immediately going to slip off.
Okay.
But the edge is into darkness, right? We can't see the bottom.
Right.
It sounds like maybe there's like occasionally you're getting little echoes of water. It sounds like maybe water moving down there. Wouldn't be a huge surprise. There's underground rivers and stuff. But it's so far away, you're just getting little bits of sound, right?
Okay.
And you can hear your movement echoing around. And the ceiling, quote unquote, of this place, with the stalactites sticking down and all that, is maybe only 20 feet up.
Oh, okay.
From this, right? So you're very, very deep underground, but you're at the top, in the much higher end of a very large open space, right? Where there's this little bridge arcing over nothing. There is this half tunnel, and that's what we're looking at.
Okay. All right. Pushing forward then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. As we cross over, so first we cross the little skinny rock bridge to get to the other side, right? To get to where the half tunnel is. I'd like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
And I was gonna say actually, I'm going to like merge with Stool again, and have Stool like grow a couple extra legs just to get a little traction on either side.
Sure, yeah.
And I'll be in front of the party so that if anybody slips and starts falling, they'll have to like bust through me first
Okay.
to get through.
Dirty 19.
Okay.
And what was it? What were we rolling for again?
Dexterity save.
Dex saves.
Okay. 13.
9.
Okay.
I rolled double 9s.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
So 18, 20, 22.
Okay,
at
so
the
what
least.
I would like to offer you for your crit success, by the way, folks, we're rolling 2d10 instead of d20. I know we have some D&D fans in chat today, which means our crit range at the bottom is 2, 3, 4. That's about 6%. And at the top is 18, 19, 20. So when we have a pair of 9s, that's 18. That's a crit for us. And I like to, even on skill checks and saves, do something with a crit. That's just my house roll on top of rolling 2d10, obviously.
Also, like the lowest number of 2 is a critical fail.
Oh, yeah,
And
like
then-
extra bad.
Yeah, and double zeros are a 20. The max roll is like an extra good
Yeah.
result.
Yep. Okay, so the critical success, I think here, one option is you can save Night Friend. Or I could give you some other options.
No. I think I start hearing some scramble as I hear like rocks kind of like skittering past me, and then I telepathically tell Stool to kind of like send out a few appendages and like really kind of crunch ourselves like what's the word? Anchor ourselves onto the half circle to try to catch you.
Okay.
What is Night Friend's dexterity in general?
It is 14.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was just bad luck, really.
Yeah, I think there was like some gravel or
Yeah.
something that they just didn't see and stepped on and just slid just a little bit enough.
Oh, I do have to give you a choice because your fail is not auto death. Okay, so Night Friend is gonna get to make a strength save
Okay.
unless you catch them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
But the options here are you save Night Friend or you keep the bridge from collapsing.
Oh.
So it'll collapse behind you. You 3 will have made it over the bridge, but the bridge is going to collapse, or you save Night Friend, or Night Friend has to make a save, and you can choose which one of those you want to prevent.
Yeah. No, I will save. I think my first instinct would be to save Night Friend to like help our friend.
Okay, then just for fun, Night Friend, please make a strength save.
Okay. With my +0
Yeah.
strength.
But who knows? It's only DC 13.
That is exactly 13.
Okay, so the best part is you saved Night Friend, the bridge collapsed, and they didn't need your help. I love it. I love it. The dice are telling the story today. But you made the choice that your character, that was an in-character choice. But I love that. Like, what does it look like that Night Friend, you were gonna get it, right? Like you slipped
Yeah.
and you were catching, and then you got help that you technically didn't need.
I think like so she kind of like wobbles and like you see just like long limbs kind
Yeah.
of flailing
Whoop,
like
whoop, whoop, whoop.
yep, there's definitely like a hang in the air moment.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she like gets it together is when you stabilize.
Yeah. It's like I think my arms kind of like shoot out towards you, and you like eep, kind of just stop out of my grasp,
Yeah.
and then we hear crack, crack, crumble, boom, and stuff falls down. You know, that bridge just collapses.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have to find another way back to the circle now.
And just as they has completed the bridge at this point, right? Like you went out, sort of sussed it out, helped Ezthe get over, like past you, and Ezthe's just, and then that cracking of that calving rock, cracking and falling apart and sliding against itself, and then and then we can confirm that there is water. If we want to count, actually, I think you just instinctually, well, at least the ranger would know.
Yeah, like listen out for
Yeah,
how long it takes for
it's
the splashes.
about 100 feet down to the
Okay.
water.
All right.
And
Oh,
that's
well.
probably why you can't see it.
And I'm glad I didn't take the chance and,
Yeah.
leave you hanging anyway.
Did
Yeah.
anybody have dark vision 120 feet? I know lots of us have 60
I think
feet.
60, I think, for me.
Ezthe does for sure.
You have 120?
No, I think I have 60.
I thought yours was big longer.
I'm
than
gonna double check it though,
Sure.
because
'Cause I'll
might be
give you
right.
more information if you have the 120, but that's pretty rare.
It's just, where is it? Nope, it's 60.
that. Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like about 100-foot
About
drop.
100 feet, Okay.
And there's definitely, you hear the rock, the bridge hit rocks and water, and in
Mhm.
some distribution.
Yeah. Well, as we're like pushing, as we're kind of like gathering our, recomposing ourselves and pushing forward, I'll say, well, yes, we will have to find someplace, but I guess the good thing is that when these worms are this size, there's usually more than one of them, and there are probably other tunnels carved out.
I don't like the sound of more worms, but the tunnel sounds good. It would have been very difficult to get back up that slide anyway.
True.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody wanted to go back that way anyway. Fine.
Man.
We didn't want to go off across that bridge anyway.
Oh, I can
That's
close
fine.
my tab.
It'll stop
Yep.
worse people or worse creatures from making their way down to the noble stop.
That's true. No one will follow us this
Yeah,
way.
right. Yeah.
Not this way, for sure. Okay.
So now would it be a good time for me to be a potted plant so that we can make it through the bibber baggies here?
You know what? I actually can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, same.
I mean,
I
it would
suppose
be
I
a
could
few
carry
seconds where
you.
they're not touching anything.
Yeah.
But it's for one turn, I think. So we'd get about 6 seconds of. That's okay. We could go into turn-based mode. Control space.
Uh-huh.
And you just have to lick
sorry,
yourself
shift space,
multiple
excuse me.
times. You turn back into your shape, potted plant again, turn back into your shape. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got plenty of this goo on me right now. I got more when I went down after we sent the second shoot.
I'm actually quite impressed that you didn't lick the slide on the way down.
You told me it was a bad time.
That I did.
Pooja, is Ezthe licking their arm for this?
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Will I survive?
This is a gift. Um,
They said it was a good time, gal.
please take inspiration if you didn't already have it.
I would survive 8d6 if it came down to it.
Well, if they
Looking at
explode and
this
we're
little-
around this much paper bang, I
little chart
think
here.
Well, that's
Okay.
true.
episode might be
So,
over.
I would like you to roll 2d10. I forgot the way I normally do d100 is we don't use the hundreds die, right? I like you to just roll 2d10, and if it's 23, it's also 32, right?
Oh.
Like
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
choose.
yeah.
I'm gonna
that's-
pick between
That's a good way
those
to do it.
because I like to have some options, right?
That is
It's
a
25 options here.
it's 69
Nice.
or 96.
Just double check it. Somebody said Steam died? Stream died?
Oh, did it?
Steam or stream? Steam.
Steam.
Oh.
Steam.
Okay.
I was like, nothing seems off on our end.
Stream.
Nope, stream. Okay, let me open this.
Okay. If anyone else is in chat and can see us, please let us know.
It looks good on our end, including on our thing that I've got up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're on. Okay, so do you want to say something in chat real quick that like looks like we're up?
Up
Okay.
on-
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so the chart.
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 What do you got?
69 or 96.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The best number.
It's very hard for me to not use the 69, but that's great. 69 it is. You have the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. I determine the source of your fear. It's Bibberbang. Yeah, you just have an unreasonable, overwhelming fear of Bibberbang.
We can't go in there. We can't go in there. We will all
Oh,
die. That will
you're-
be a problem. We are going back. We're going back some other direction.
Yeah, you cannot willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
Oh.
We're just gonna go. I'm sure that somewhere in all these like wavy bits, there must be another hole, and we're gonna go that way. We're gonna go that way.
What happened to the potted plant thing?
Don't know. Must be the Bibberbang. The Bibberbang has gotten into us. The Bibberbang is coming for us. The Bibberbang is gonna come for us. We have to go that way. We have to
And
go that way, and I'm pushing my friend.
After 5 or 6 seconds, you feel somewhat relieved from this, and it's really not as scary as you thought. It's a little confusing, but you also know you were affected by a magical impulse. So
Oof.
Night Friend looks at you and is like, can I just scrape off some of that mushroom goo? Because this has a strange quality.
Oh yeah, sure.
You
Here.
were not a potted plant just then. I don't know what happened.
I don't know why it wasn't a potted plant. It must be the Bibberbang. It must be. The interaction with the Bibberbang has caused the effects to change.
Can't argue with that either. Actually, I have nothing.
Would have to test that hypothesis, but it's not impossible.
I mean, we can test it now. Just somebody make sure I don't go off the edge. And like,
please roll again.
For science.
49 or 94.
Okay, so again, we're at the end of the half tunnel, and we're at the opening to a cave that is like maybe 20 feet around, and then it goes in. It's like you're looking into a jug, basically, but you're at the side, right? Like the inside of past the mouth of the cave, it goes down, it goes up, it goes to the sides. It totally flares out, right? And then there's this great big open space in there where the bottom is lined with Bibberbang, and you can see there are some kind of narrow ledges along the sides in there that it looks like that looks made by people, right? Because it's cut and it's flat, right? They've like cut into the cave wall above the Bibberbang. And so on either side, there's 2 or 3 pathways that look semi-viable from here, just at the edge, looking over the lip of the entrance here.
Okay.
Now, we've got 49 or 94. A spectral shield hovers near you, and is between you and the Bibberbang. However you move. You move over here, it moves there. You move over here, it moves there, to be between you and the Bibberbang.
Oh yeah, it's definitely interacting with the
It
Bibberbang because
is.
the shield is protecting me from the Bibberbang.
Definitely the Bibberbang. Amazing.
So it must be potted plant when you're not within Bibberbanging. But then if you were within Bibberbang distance.
3, 4, 5, 6.
You either get a shield or are frightened of it.
And the shield disappears.
The results seem a bit random. We can test this further, but I think we should get down and look for the noble stock first.
True.
You've got plenty of the mushroom goo.
Yeah. And there's more. Oh, we can't get there.
Not that way, but we might find more on the way back.
True. We can always get there. It's fine.
The colony is going to want to know about this.
That's
For
true.
sure. I mean, just think of all the great applications for the circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then potted plant time.
Perhaps.
Well,
Huh.
'cause it was very calming being a potted plant. I'm not gonna lie.
I've never been a potted plant. I wouldn't know.
I'm like staring at the sample that you took now because I'm really curious what myconids like how it's going to affect myconids if we like try to absorb some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's a thing that you're not familiar. You
Yeah.
grew up here, right? And like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we're always discovering new species
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So, and yeah. So what did you store it in?
I think so. Night Friend like collects just random weird gloops that they
Yeah,
find
sure.
about the place.
Obviously.
So they have a bunch of like just empty glass vials in their pack.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
can use to store samples of things.
Got it.
Sounds about right.
Normal stuff that
Yeah.
people do.
Yep. You scoop some in there, and you didn't realize there was a little flea in there, and it turns into a flea-sized potted plant for a second. And then, disappears. Okay. So, we scramble over the lip, and you can see here, there is very little of these carved pathways. And you're in this great big, round space, and it goes to the other end. Oh, you know what? Actually, okay, this is a little bit silly, but like, if you picture, you know how a Tootsie Roll is packaged, right? There's like a big tube, and then on
the
either
ends
end,
are-
there's like the twisty.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that, or like a balloon or a Christmas popper,
Right.
Yeah.
where you pull it apart like that. It's roughly that kind of shape. It's this big, tube-ish sausage
Long,
shape
Short hot
thing.
dog.
ovoid kind
Yeah,
of.
with like a smaller opening at each end.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever suggestive jokes we need to make, that's fine. But that's essentially what the cave is like. The bottom of it is relatively flat. It's not as curved as the sides and the ceiling. And that's probably, the Bibberbang have probably like eaten away at the floor a little bit and flattened it out, because that's just plant life, right? And they're growing into rock and soil and in a really tough environment. There is a soft green glow from the Bibberbang. And you are at the entrance here, you are about 10 feet up from the tallest Bibberbang. And as you like, the three of you could kind of like sit on the edge of this and think about like, okay, how do we want to do this? Because the closest of the carved pathways, none of the pathways come all the way over here, which means they're probably being created at the far end.
Gotcha.
Right? And the whole thing is probably 200 feet long, but it's lit, right? Like you could see, it's like almost outdoor lighting, and everybody can see 200 feet. So that's about 2/3 of a football field, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, that's the kind of, does everyone have a good picture in their mind of
Yeah.
what that looks like?
Yeah.
There are various other lichens and things growing in here, but not as much as you might think, and that's probably because like if a Bibberbang does go off, it's gonna just like kill whatever else is in here.
Yeah.
They're a little snotty about their territory, and it'll destroy noble stock as well. But noble stock likes to grow under Bibberbang for some reason. Who knows? Plant life is weird. Mushrooms are good plants. They're so weird, guys.
Mushrooms are weird.
They're so weird.
The best kind of weird.
I know, I
and
love it.
also tasty.
I love it. Okay.
How far is the nearest like accessible ledge from us?
Roll 3d6.
3d6?
Yeah.
Okay. That is 10.
Okay. So 10 feet away from you, you can see there is a ledge that looks like somebody stopped maintaining it. There's 10 feet away, then there's ledge, and then there's a like 20-foot gap to where if you like draw the line, close one eye and sort of line it up, you're like, oh, it used to be part of that path, right? But yeah, there's these sort of carved in things that are right up above. As you look closer, you realize some of the pathways dip down below the height of the Bibberbang. The Bibberbangs are, 5 to 6 feet tall, like big, healthy adult Bibberbang, that can also be little, like the size of a bowling ball. When they first gas up, right? They could be little bulbs, and then the first gas up is like, bowling ball size, and then they grow and grow and grow. And you know that if you are too rambunctious around them, they will pop. If you have any kind of open flame around them, they will explode. and if they pop and then you light a flame, that will ignite the spores that are within and just cause a massive fucking explosion. So yeah, there are a number of ways to get killed in this space.
Great.
I need everybody to make a perception check. This is kind of like a whoever gets highest thing.
Okay.
Holy smokes.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Oh, is it really?
19 on the dice.
Okay.
These dice are so mad.
Thanks.
9.
What did you do to your dice?
I don't know.
Rude.
They're like, this one doesn't matter. They're gonna save up all the
They,
all the
they
good
better
rolls
be
for next time.
saving.
I'm real excited that
the roll
Ezthe's
for
going to
Jaden.
get this, though. How'd you do?
18.
Okay. So we're going to go with this Ezthe's crit. So do you, Pooja, know the song Pony that was highlighted in the movie?
Magic Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you can hear somebody essentially humming the fantasy version of Pony. Okay?
Need to know if there's a
Like a mandolin version?
like a Gertie.
Sure, yeah. Hurdy-gurdy version. But we can imagine that in our minds, right?
Uh-huh.
Of like, you can hear a masculine voice humming this, and with your crit, you like cock your head like a dog, right? Like, ooh, you know right where it's coming from. You can see about 100 feet away from you, which is about in the middle of all this. There's a little bit of a clearing. Like you wouldn't have called it a clearing until you saw somebody down there. And you can see this big, strong, middle-aged, white-skinned human moving through the Bibberbang, humming to himself with these incredible gyrating, bending, lithe movements, humming to himself. And I would say probably face casting, probably get as close to Channing Tatum as we could. And
Legally required once you've invoked Pony.
right, and like infuriating. I don't know if you've seen, like he showed up in Welcome to Wrexham. The man's like 50 years old or something, I think, or 45 or 50. He's getting hotter.
Rude.
It's disrespectful. How old is Channing Tatum?
Ask the internet real quick.
Channing Tatum age 45. Ridiculous. Don't show me. Actually, I'll leave these pictures up. Thank you.
Also, hilariously, as I approach 45, I can only hope that I'm aging so well
Yes.
in the next few years.
as
We'll
I've-
see what stressed us.
As I've skated right past 45, I'm jealous. Okay, so you see this person down there humming and moving through the Bibberbang with that just, kind of worming their way through, and even like touching it at some point, right? Like just carefully, the way that he's moving through there seems to not be disturbing the Bibberbang.
That is so cool.
What are you looking at?
And it's not loud, right? You rolled a crit, right? You're getting all this information. But once you point it out, you guys can kind of see. I don't think you can really hear the humming, but you definitely could see this guy kind of worming his way through.
That guy has incredible dance moves.
Yeah. Actually.
Also, pretty good tone on that voice.
What are they doing down here? Can
Possibly
either
the
of you
same thing.
tell?
Possibly the same thing that we are. Or maybe just trying to get through the Bibberbang field.
And how far is this person from us again?
Probably 100 feet,
100 feet?
Yeah.
Like halfway through the cave, you said, right? Or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
like right in the middle of the cave.
Huh. Should we get their attention?
I don't think we want to distract them. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. We can wait until they're closer.
Either way, if we want noble stock, we've got to get down there somehow.
Well, just to let you know, Stool has a climb speed.
Oh, okay.
I don't, but my little mushroom frang has a
Mhm.
has a climb speed.
Nice.
I could make a little fantasy sensory effect that,
Mhm.
like, when he looks up, he could see.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to try to get his attention?
Not like in a startling way.
Yeah, not
Sure.
like just to let that person know we're here, right? Like if
Okay.
they happen to look.
As the fantasy version of like a Morse code
Sure.
going on.
Beacon.
Sure.
Which really just means that as they spelling things out
Sure.
with prestidigitation over and over and over again.
Is message on the druid spell list?
I don't remember seeing it. No.
Probably not. It's usually kind
No.
of like a wizard thing.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And are we doing anything about the ledge that's 10 feet away for now?
What
Or
is-
we're just trying to get this guy's attention.
Yeah, I think maybe we wait until.
You want
they
to get
get
us
close
attention
enough?
first?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to put us in a bad spot in case this doesn't end well. It's just-
I don't want to blow him
person
up by
has,
accident.
yeah,
Yeah, we want to do that on
too, yeah,
purpose.
yeah.
Usually. I mean, honestly, I've just always gotten in trouble when I accidentally blew people up, so obviously a bad thing to do.
I like that that's
oh,
happened frequently enough that you.
okay, this
an
says
opinion
it
about
is
it.
on the druid spell list.
What is?
The spell message. That you probably don't have it prepared, but it should be in your overall spell list.
It's in the overall spell list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you see it
Yeah,
there?
it's not in my prepared spell lists. Because I only have.
Oh, I thought you had the whole spell book there.
No, I just have prepared spell names.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's fine. If you wanted to unprepare something and slot in message, that's fine. We're only supposed to do that at the start of the day, but whatever. We've got a flashback to get through.
Every moment is the start of the day in a flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I will have this person cast message as well. That's fine too.
Okay. Either way, I'm happy to swap something out if that works.
No, that's fine. You do your spells, and he will cast message on. Well, I think as that you were trying to get his attention, right? And so he sees you as a message target. Oh yeah, range 120 feet. This is actually legal. This is street legal Dungeons and Dragons message. He is a magic user, so that's fine, and would probably have the spell prepped. So yeah, he sets up message with you, and it lets you. He is whispering the message, which is wise considering his current environment. And actually he sits down in a spot where we wouldn't call it a clearing, but he's at least 5 feet away from any bibberbang, right?
Okay.
Like, that's not a clearing, bud, but he sits down sort of crisscross, and looks down, whispers, and you have the sensation of Channing Tatum whispering into your ear very close, which I hope that's not upsetting for you, but
I mean, it's doing a lot for Ezthe right now.
yeah, not that I've thought about what that would be like. I have, actually. It's very
This is
odd.
something Ezthe likes very much. There's something that Pooja dislikes is people whispering
Oh,
in
okay.
Pooja's ear. I understand why people enjoy it. It makes me want to punch things.
Okay, then
That's
we will sort of gloss over it a little bit. Thank you for telling me that. The message that he sends is, let's see. Welcome to Bibber Valley. No. Sorry. He is doing a voice for this. It's not Channing Tatum voice. Welcome to Bibber Valley. What y'all looking for?
And I'm going to also whisper in the best Ezthe whisper that it is. We need to get some noble stock.
Well, this is the spot for noble stock, I'll tell you what. But Bibber Valley ain't exactly safe for most folks. You gotta. Have you been around Bibberbang before?
Not for very long. I've only been down here for a little while.
Okay. How many of you are there?
4 if you count Stool. And you should count Stool. Stool is a person. Wow.
So
Stool is a being.
4 then. That's quite a group. I tell you what, I'm here also gathering noble stock. And if you would like to meet me at the far end of the valley, the one you're not at currently, I'd be happy to sell you some. I come here to gather noble stock, and I've got quite a bit already today.
This seems like a good deal. He seems like a very nice guy.
How much is he selling it for?
How much?
So I'm not going to quote an exact gold amount, but it's, let's see. He says we'll have to figure it out, you know, like he's a salesman, right? But also yes, like, so who do I have the pleasure of messaging?
Oh, I'm Ezthe.
Excellent. You may have heard of me, just so you know. Magical Michael's Emporium, Mushroom Emporium in Baldur's Gate is a little ways out of the way for here, but I like to make the trip because noble stock is just so valuable. Where are we rolling?
Okay. So that would be...
I'm so sorry for this Magical Michael's bullshit. It was, again, came to me on the car ride over here, and whatever
It's
happened
delightful.
there is bad.
I rolled to see if, because I'm from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
But I rolled a history and it was a 9.
Oh, you should roll with advantage. Are you rolling to see if you've heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should roll with advantage. It's a famous story.
Okay, so 6 plus 7 is 13, minus 1 is 12.
No, it would be like DC 10, right?
Okay.
This is a famous, you know, if you've played Baldur's Gate, it's more famous than Bone Cloaks, right? Bone Cloaks is barely in business. And this is a place that is not just mushrooms, right? But it mostly sells ingredients, right? He doesn't do his own like potion making and that kind of stuff. Maybe like he sells ingredients and then people will sell, like he has a shelf of like, this is so and so's healing potions, and so, you know, like kind of on consignment. Yeah. Well, like he's fine. It's almost more like a co-op sort of thing. It's his shop, but yeah, he'll sell raw ingredients and then resell your potions and whatever if you don't want to maintain a shop.
Okay.
Oh. I think my dads have bought a bunch of healing potions from you before.
Wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, I'd be happy to give you all a discount on the fact that that's some amount of noble stock I don't have to carry back to town.
That's great.
Now, I'm about to lose the grip on this spell for a moment, so it's only supposed to last 6 seconds, so or I guess it's like one message per 6 seconds or whatever. That's fine. We're being a little loosey-goosey with that.
I mean,
But,
it's also a cantrip, so he can't stay as
Yeah.
many times as he needs to, so it's like...
Oh, it is a cantrip. You're right. Okay. So he says, well, I do need to focus on my surroundings here. It is a little bit dangerous. I recommend you use the pathways up on the sides of the walls. I've done my best to make them as safe as possible, but I'm the only one I think who's been using them, so they're not exactly up to code. And you're just you'll have to do your best. And if you make it to the other end, I swear we will come to a deal of some kind. Now, in the shop, he explains, like, in the shop, they're like, however expensive, 100 gold for a little piece of it, right? He's like, I'm not going to charge you. He explains, like, it's not going to be that much, but I can't sell it to you for a gold piece either. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. So
I'm sure we got plenty of stuff to trade.
I'm sure, yeah. So anyway, he says he needs to focus on getting back that way. He doesn't want to come meet you at this end because he's just never needed to go that deep into the field before, and you just don't do any more bibberbang than you have to.
That's fair. That's fair.
That sounds great. Honestly, not going down there.
I mean, the goo is afraid of it.
Hmm.
I'm inclined to think if the goo thinks it's a bad idea, that it's probably a really bad idea.
Trust the goo.
If we can trust this person, sure.
My dad's bought a bunch of healing potions from them. Anytime things went wrong.
Yeah.
So they got a frequent buyer bonus, is
Mhm.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, and for Night Friend, I think it's even like, a famous shop in Burbank. No, in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's reasonable, right? Like that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, if it's a famous store in Baldur's Gate, this is somebody who has a good
Seems
reputation,
legit, yeah.
right? Like, and like isn't a cop or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
that's fine. Now for you, you understand the concept of commerce, right?
Mhm.
Because the drow will come by, the rock gnomes will come by. They have traded with the circle before, with Minar,
Minar.
with
Minar.
Minar's the circle of Minar before, but it's not something that you all are like. But Mike and Eds are not invested in garnering wealth.
Yeah, I think, we understand the idea of bartering, but not necessarily profiting.
Yeah.
So we don't care to get the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Or even the worse end of the deal.
Just
Yeah.
a fair deal.
Yeah,
It's a fair deal.
Just, if we need it, we need it.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll trade you these diamonds for,
I knew
That
I found my
compost.
people.
It's also, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna help with a value judgment here. There are plenty of merchants on Magical Michael's level who would not come down here themselves, right?
Mhm,
They'd be like, they would
mhm.
send some grunts, right?
Mhm.
Now, those grunts would probably get blown up, right? And he has figured out a way, his sort of, what do you call it? Like,
Interpretiveness.
his proprietary approach to moving through the Bibberbang is his secret, right? To probably
Mhm.
having
That
such
walk
a
they
successful,
do on Arrakis.
right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. To walk without rhythm,
Yes.
but in this case, very much with rhythm,
Right,
and
right.
also do a couple floor thrusts while you're at it.
Mhm.
It's calm.
Sometimes you just gotta get underneath.
yes,
You gotta get down low.
yeah,
You gotta get
Mhm.
and then move through.
yeah.
Mhm.
Thrust your way through.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe how much thought I put into this on the car right over here.
I think I
okay.
would believe that.
So I think to get over to that first ledge, because we need to kind of span a gap, right?
There's
It's only 10
yeah.
feet.
10 feet.
There's
yeah.
a 10-foot gap, and then that goes for a little ways, and then you could maybe try to get to a path above that or cross the 20-foot gap that's coming up.
Do we all at least have strengths? I mean, it's metagaming, but like we all have at least strength scores of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, you can just
You
do
do?
running jumps. Yeah.
Oh, what's your 8 in?
Int.
Oh. Okay. So,
When
yeah.
I say Ezthe doesn't understand the concept of anecdotal or data in general,
Right,
I very much
right.
do that.
Yeah. That
I
was,
also have the jump spell, so I can.
Oh, sure. Okay. I was gonna
Sure.
have Stool like climb up with a rope or something so he could swing over.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But I think if everybody has strength
Yeah.
10,
We have 10 feet of a running
we can
start.
at least get to that first ledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
So we get everybody over there, and we scooch on there. You realize, like, oh wow, this is very narrow, right? It's maybe I'm for
Yeah.
the listener, I'm holding my hands up like less than a foot apart, right? Like 8-10 inches, something like that. So if you have big feet, your toes are hanging over. I assume your back is to the wall.
Yeah. Stool and I just like flatten.
Oh yeah, you could squish a little bit.
Yeah.
And stabilize. And so then there's about 10 feet of that ledge, then a 20-foot gap, and some more ledge, and then it's kind of hard to see exactly what
Mhm.
happens after that. Or there's a ledge, another ledge that's about 10 feet straight up
Mhm.
that, if you could get a really good jump and grab and do a pull-up, that, maybe. But it's not the kind of like rocks jutting out that you could do a rock climbing move. It's not sheer either, but it's just not the kind of surface that you
not
could.
as much grip.
Yeah. Now your creature's climbing speed is fine, right? It'll like it has the ability like a spider.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the rest of you, your climbing ability would be like it would be very difficult to.
It's 10
scale.
feet above us.
Yes.
I'm like 7 feet tall.
Yes. Yeah. If
Okay.
you want to do like a decent jump, but this one I will have you roll for.
Yeah. Well, you could just stand on my shoulders and get up to that one.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems fun.
And then reach down and help me up.
Well, yeah.
'Cause I can't
I
jump
used to
that
do
high,
that with
but-
my friend all the time. It's how we got to a lot of places.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, if you said your friend's name,
I'm sure I have, but
Right.
like,
so Nightfred, you would recognize like, oh, that sounds like a Goliath. Is that a Goliath name? You know, like
Mhm.
my
it
friend
just-
Flint Cook.
Yeah.
Oh. Was your friend a Goliath?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was my best friend.
Yeah, I had a childhood friend who was a Goliath.
That's so cool.
It's my best friend ever.
Yeah.
He told me all kinds of fun stuff about Goliaths. And all these stories that his
giants,
parents
too,
used to
yeah.
tell him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. the
It was so
legends.
cool. Like, one day I'm going to meet a giant and it's going to be awesome.
It's not how giants work. It's not how any of this works.
Not telling them that right now.
Okay, so I would like you to do an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what the dice say about that.
Oh, that's better.
They're less mad. Great. 16.
Okay, that is a success. And it's actually high enough that you will get to make your athletics check with advantage as well.
Okay, great.
And oh, by the way, I gave Night Friend advantage because I assumed you were helping.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
actually say that out loud.
No, I mean, again, like, Stool can climb and, like, actually,
Yeah,
you know,
you
assist.
can sort of brace them.
Yeah.
And,
Could
Okay.
this be an
Awkward
acrobatics check?
certainly not.
No.
That would be so much more dangerous.
It's fine. I got a 16.
Oh, okay, that's great. So yeah, the two of you managed to, you boost Ezthe up. Ezthe, you reach down and help Night Friend get a grip, and then you could do a pull up at least, and
Yeah,
get
just
yourself
barely.
up there. And then I think for Ver and Stool, you don't even have to roll, right? Like Stool can help you climb, and
Okay,
you're,
all right.
you're the two of you scramble up with helping each other, and these two are up there to haul you up as well.
Okay,
Because
all right.
I bet Mike and it's weigh about half as much as you'd expect.
Right, we're not as dense as
Right.
the other creatures. We're
Right.
pretty porous.
You're not made
inside.
of meat and water.
Yeah,
yeah. Like mushrooms are weirdly
Chambered
light.
interiors and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just
Spongy.
whoop, haul you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Almost three. I could have just thrown you up here.
Woo.
Yeah. So you all get up onto that higher ledge, and it looks like you should be able to make your way across.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
That's just about 200 feet of butt scooching.
Great.
All right.
Let's scooch.
Well, I'm gonna wait for. I'm gonna grab a quick little water.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna do a little bit of a skill challenge.
Okay.
To scooch. Should it be easy to just walk along the edge? Certainly, but it's terrifying, right? Like there are emotions involved here.
Yeah,
Of,
it's
like,
narrow. There's imminent death at the
just
bottom.
death plants, right?
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah,
only
yeah.
about 30 feet, 40 feet up from. Yeah, you're about 40 feet up now from the floor.
I still don't want to fall
Right,
that
40
far.
feet, that would suck. That's
Ouch.
46 damage,
Yeah.
right? So we would roll up to 24 damage. That
Mhm.
sucks. But then, what you landed on is not just the ground.
No.
So, none of you would just outright die from that fall.
Yeah.
And you would have a chance to sort of slide and catch yourself a little. But the problem is what you're sliding into.
Yes.
That shit goes
Not
big.
Ideal. Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to do a skill challenge to scooch along the side of the cavern.
Okay.
All right? And so the three of you need to get 6 successes before you get 3 failures. 3 failures does not necessarily mean everything ends in death, but a critical success will count as 2 successes, and
Okay.
a critical failure will count as 2 failures.
Okay.
A snake eyes or 20, I will adjudicate as.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm going to grab a little water first. Could you please roll well, what is your scooching order? I almost said marching order, but we're scooching. We're scooching butts along the wall with this little narrow ledge.
I think I'd like to be in between the two of you so that if
Mhm.
either of you go down, I can reach down, like Stool and I can reach down at either of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go first.
Okay?
All right. So
Unless someone stops Ezthe, there is no thought. There is just go.
sure. Is this like I should probably lick my arm in this situation?
No, because we determined from our very scientific experimentation that the goo is afraid of the bibberbang, and so it will react weirdly around the bibberbang.
Oh, because you're around Bibberbang, the goo knows.
Well, the goo is obviously afraid of it because then there was the like there was
shield
the
and the
fear,
fear.
and then
Yep.
there was the shield, and so I don't want to make the goo do things that it doesn't want to do.
That's nice. Okay, so it is Ezthe, and then Ver and Stool,
Mm-hmm.
and then Night Friend bringing up the rear.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a skill challenge. I'm not going to lay out. Not going to tell you what skills you can and can't use. But you go ahead and pitch what you want to roll. However, you will only be able to roll anything once. All right.
Oh,
So, whatever you pick now, you're not going to be able to roll. Now, ostensibly, you all are just going to roll 2 times, get 6 successes, and we'll be on with our day. No
That
problem.
would be so great if that
Right?
was true.
That is theoretically possible. I'm going to set the base DC is 14.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, make a case for a skill where you're pretty sure you can get a 14. But if you give me whatever your skill you pitch, I may adjust the DC and I'll tell you, right? I'm like, okay, yes, you can roll that, but it's going to be DC 15,
Okay.
right? Or whatever. So, also, if you have something else you want to try during the skill challenge, that's fine. If you want to try casting a spell, if you want to whatever, we will figure out a way to work that in. Like there are multiple ways to participate in this and to like play to your strengths. But yeah, it represents the idea that we're working together.
Okay.
Great.
Hopefully that wasn't too loud on the microphone.
We didn't go.
Great.
As they equate being around the bibberbang with being sneaky, because you have to be sneaky so it doesn't see you.
That's not a bad instinct. Yeah. It's walking soft.
Yeah,
Right? Okay, so you're gonna roll stealth?
I am.
Okay. We'll go DC 14. I think that makes sense.
Ooh. And that is +2 + 6 is 16.
Okay, 16 is a success. That is 1 success. Oh, I'll make my little chart here.
Thank
we need
goodness.
6 before we get 3. We have 1 success. Ooh. I'm gonna be mean.
Rude.
Not only can you not roll stealth again, nobody can.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Is that kind of skill challenge?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, you're next in the scooching order.
I'm for me, like just making my way through with Soul, it's just a matter of athletics, gripping and keeping our footing. So we're gonna start with that.
Okay.
That's cocked. That's a good start though. Oh, double zeros.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh
that
my
is
God.
27. It is a super critical.
Okay.
27.
So I'm going to give you the 2 successes.
Okay.
And who do you want to give advantage to on their next roll?
I'm going to give it to Night Friend.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. Oh,
We certainly need that success.
so Sam, I think you missed
Yes.
it. I'm being particularly mean
Okay.
with this skill challenge. So as they
used
rolled
stealth.
stealth
Okay.
and
I
Ver
rolled
rolled
athletics.
athletics, no one can use those skills now.
Oh.
Gotta use a
okay.
different
Okay.
skill.
So
Great.
I'm gonna go.
and if y'all want to table talk and min max this, I don't care. right?
Okay.
But this is because that's particularly challenging, right? That is one of the dials that I have in a skill
Mhm.
challenge. And I think it's appropriate for this. Of like, you're being sneaky, everyone's following your lead. Like, okay, yeah, we're going to walk real soft. Athletics, you're helping everybody
Tippy toe.
stay
Tippy
strong
toe.
and whatever. Then Ver just rolled 20 on
Oh.
natural 20.
Nice.
So I gave you the 2 successes, and Ver has nominated you to get advantage
Great.
on your next check.
I love that.
And you may want to, so since you have advantage and you know you have advantage,
Yes.
if you want to pick something that isn't your highest skill, or maybe a skill that somebody else isn't likely to have, but isn't 0, right? Like you
Yeah.
still want a chance of succeeding. But if you have like an edge case that you want to make a case for, that this would be a good time to do that. And it's okay to say like, hey, is anybody going to want to roll perception or whatever? Like, y'all can talk this out.
Yeah, I think actually perception was the one that I was going to roll because that's my best skill.
So maybe save that for when you don't have advantage.
Yes. So either nature or survival are kind of my other go-tos. Does anybody?
No,
I
never.
was planning on survival. My survival is pretty high, though.
Okay.
So if you want to roll it, by all means. I've got other things I can go to.
But if you can do nature,
Yeah, I
then
can
you
do
could
nature.
survival.
Yeah, I think that's a good combo.
Sure.
If you do nature.
Yeah, with advantage. Okay.
Okay, so we've got stealth,
Yeah.
athletics, now we have nature.
Okay, it's a good thing we had advantage.
Ooh.
Because one of those was a 1.
Mm-mm.
So that is
What were the other 2 dice?
8 and a 4, and I have +4.
Oh, so you would have had a 4 or a 9.
Yeah.
Plus 4 is 13. Oh, that doesn't do it because we're doing
No.
DC 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I have 16.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, that advantage, it totally helped. Like, that's what I like knowing, right? Is the thing that you did to help Night Friend.
Mm-hmm.
This time actually did help.
this time
Yeah.
we needed that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 4 successes and no misses.
Yeah.
It's great. So if Ezthe just rolls a crit success right now, we're done.
That'd be so great. I'm gonna make the case for acrobatics
Okay.
because,
Talk me through this.
because I am seeing the dance moves, and the dance I understand is an acrobatic style. Like, obviously, when you're tightrope walking, like we used to do on top of the fences,
Okay. I'm going to give you DC 15 if you want to do acrobatics.
that is still worth it to me.
Okay.
It is my other +6 skill.
But there's no advantage or anything on this one. So
Oh.
we short it.
Well, you said it was DC 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 15.
Oh, no, I said DC 15.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
I made it.
Yeah.
Barely.
Did I-
You said 15.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Because that's a 9 + 6 is 15.
15 is the number, so that's one more success with no failures.
And you're like
So-
learning the moves as you go. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Getting
like,
that
when
kinda
you
like
watch
body
somebody
roll
do a
in.
thing, and it's like, and then I'm like, we used to have to go on the fence if we wanted to get from the candy store back
The candy
to
shop.
Flint Cook's backyard without getting seen by anybody.
Mm,
Just a little fence.
yeah, which was tricky because Flint Hook was 5 feet tall at 6 years old.
Flint Cook didn't always make it.
Yeah.
Not in like a death way, but in a like got caught and had
Yeah.
punishment
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched Arcane?
A little bit.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't finished
We
it.
should talk about that later. Like, as far as like getting your friends into trouble, like,
Constant.
It's a great show.
okay. Ver, we
Okay.
only need one more success.
All right. Well, as I'm going forward, I'm tracking my way through and trying to find the best paths for everybody and kind of like whispering suggestions, step here, step here. So I'm going to make the case for survival.
Okay. I like that.
All right.
Yeah,
Here
DC
we go.
14 is fine.
9, 10. That's 18.
Nice.
Ooh.
See, like I said, just get 6 successes and no failures,
Yeah.
and you're fine.
There you go.
That's how
Right.
it goes.
And I like to honor that too. Like when there has been 0 failure, this is like success with aplomb, right? Like this is you all move through so well that Magical Michael is impressed, right? And you will have an advantage when you negotiate with him on what this price is going to be. Let's say, do you have a sense of like how much gold you would have had on you at a situation like this?
I'll be honest, like, Ezthe has gotten through life with a minimal amount of actual cash or gold.
Well, I think
Because
can we say your aunt has been paying you to like muck out the stalls and
Mhm.
you know, like here, this is what having a job is like.
And and yes, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, there are not very many places to spend it, and there's not
Okay, I'm gonna
very
roll.
many ways for Ezthe to lose it, which is the other big thing that would
Yeah.
happen.
All right, I'm gonna roll some dice. I'm rolling 3d12. Okay, 5 plus 2 plus 12. 7, 19. You have 19 gold on you.
So much. I'm rich.
Let's see. Now, Night Friend, you sold all your worldly possessions,
True.
I assume. So I'm gonna roll 3d10 for you.
Okay.
That's cocked. Oh, nice. 19 plus 4 is approximately 23
Okay.
gold. And for our ranger, I think of anyone in the circle, you've had the most contact with outsiders,
Yeah.
and it is occasionally useful to have these little gold discs.
Things of value. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was thinking too, like, they don't
Butter.
necessarily have to be those. They don't have to be coinage specifically.
Some value of
Yeah,
thing.
like as I've wandered, like other mushrooms have kind of like grown on me, and
Yeah.
those are pretty valuable.
Oh yeah, actually that may come into play. You have 18, you have 25 gold
Okay.
of stuff,
Okay.
right? Between you, and we know
Fungible token.
that yeah, and that I'm just gonna say a dose of noble stock sells for 100 gold
Mm.
Okay.
in the city.
Okay.
But he did say he would give us a discount.
Yes, he did. So that's where we're starting from, and we'll go from there. All right. So you all make it down the lip into the other side, and you can see there is quite it's not an encampment like a ton of people, but this is or if you want to think of like the cloth like 4-post sort of like without the horrible colonialism, but like a Victorian era safari traveler, but without all the
Package.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that sort of like white cloth tarp over a little tent area and a cooking setup and a couple like a few logs to sit on but it's in the cave, and it's all this stuff has been dragged down here. You're not sure how he got here, but this end of the cave, you can see there are numerous other approximately 10-foot wide tunnels that go off in seemingly random directions from here.
Okay.
And that sparks a memory, Ver, of something you remember. I'm going to say Myconids get some amount of ancestral memory,
Oh, sure.
right? As it sort of gets passed forward.
Yeah. Because we all share memories, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So make a nature or survival, which is higher for you,
Okay, that'd be survival
with advantage, please.
with advantage. That's 2. 21.
Okay. It occurs to you why the shape of the Bibberbang cavern was like pinging at the back of your mind this whole time, right? You're like, oh, that's how people describe purple worm,
Oh, nests.
like gestation.
Yeah,
like this is where I go to have my baby.
Right. Okay.
But they don't stay. They don't nest. They don't stay there.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, this maybe is a really old. There's also all this Bibberbang in there,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
Bibberbang goes a little fast, you know, like seasonally,
Yeah.
but
It's like a little hatchery. They have their eggs. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also
Okay.
like almost any size purple worm, aside from maybe a fresh hatch,
Yeah.
would barely notice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
A Bibberbang
Uh-huh.
explosion.
Mm.
Like, what was that? Excuse me.
Huh.
Yeah, there's giant doofuses and made of armor and
Right. Yeah.
eat rocks. So that's
Delicious.
yeah. But yeah, it just that thing in the back of your mind was like, oh, good thing they're not here right now.
Yeah. Huh.
Hmm.
Okay. And there's enough Riverbank to kind of like indicate that there hasn't been any here in a while.
Well,
because...
there can't have been any here in the last months.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
like 2 to 3
yeah.
months.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Riverbank grows fast
Yeah.
enough that it'd be hard to tell.
But that's plenty good time to indicate that we're probably pretty safe here from
Yeah. Or you could
worms
ask
and worms.
this guy,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
because he's not harvesting the Bibberbang, so
Yeah.
maybe this crop has been here a long time, and he's just left it so that
Yeah.
he can get the noble stock. You know? But he has a whole little camp here that is clearly, he has like a great big backpack with a bedroll, and it looks like supplies for no more than a week.
Okay.
Right? But, so it's not like he lives here, but he probably like sets out, goes to get some things. You can see there are a number of spots around this part of the cave where it looks like he has planted some things, of like,
Oh,
okay,
mhm.
I want this lichen to grow, and he's figured out good spots, right? Of like, okay, this lichen likes to be in a spot where the water drips down but no light gets on it. And then this mushroom likes to be in a spot over here. And this one wants like a little hint of light sometimes. And, so it's not like a full-on garden or
Cultivation?
yeah, it's not fully cultivated, but he's got a couple little probably like cash crops that are useful to have, and they only really grow properly in the Underdark.
Okay.
And he is, your aunt's place was a day ride from
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. So, if he rode a horse out here with his backpack and his gear, he'd be less than a day. He probably, he looks really fit. He could probably ride pretty fast and hike down here. Who knows how long his hike is? That's the big question mark, because you can't see where he came in.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But you get over there as he is, setting down his satchel. Also, for some reason, and you were sort of aware of this before, but you didn't have that good a look at him. He was in just these like clingy boy shorts, right? And his torso and his legs and his arms are all glistening with something that he has slathered on. So he looks really shiny. It looks like Vaseline or something.
Oh,
But-
maybe we should have used the goo topically.
But that's you find him like setting down his bag and turning as you're coming. Oh, great, you made it! All right, fantastic. Please excuse my lack of dress and general formality, but it seems like we're all friends here, I hope. And you also notice like he goes over and like picks up a couple of magic rings that he puts back on, and he's got a staff. He doesn't put his pants on, but like, he's
The
he's got,
essentials.
yeah, he's got like a gnarled staff and some magic rings and
These are
stuff.
my best friends.
Yep.
And Stool.
And now so is Stool separate or?
No, actually, I think we're still fused together.
Yeah,
Right now.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. I think you already gave him your name, right? Ezthe and friends. And he looks to an empty space and says, "And Stool," just totally abiding the like you have an imaginary friend.
I think from my back, like stool kind of separates a little bit,
okay.
and then like an appendage comes out and gives a little squishy wave.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I've only heard rumors about the little squishy ones, What do you all call them?
They're stool.
I mean the type of thing. This one's name is Stool, but
Oh, they all have different names.
but what kind of thing are they?
They're they're what they are.
All right. This is not his first conversation with a mic.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like,
We don't, yeah.
Yep.
Like, there's the sovereign, and then there's everyone else.
yeah.
Night Friend kind of gives him a like, I know, buddy.
Yeah. And he's like, "Gee, you know what they're called?" Like, no, okay.
Like I also had this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's stool.
It's
What more do you
stool.
need to know?
Yeah. See?
All right.
It's important to note that Ezthe has never been as seen in their life as when they met the circle.
Yes.
We don't even need to, like, speak in words.
Right.
No.
You know? So,
No.
yeah.
Now,
Which is probably better because they keep yelling.
as you go now, did you want to like go shake his hand, or you just went up to like you just said these are my friends, and they end up it's Night Friend and Ver, and it's nice to meet you all.
Oh yeah, I think a hug is in order.
Okay, so he says, do excuse me, I can't hug you right now because I am covered in let's see, what is this gonna be called? Did we name the thing that you had on your arm?
I
The goo?
think we named the mushroom.
Did we?
I thought so too.
And I'm just gonna double check. Find some big slick mushrooms, or maybe not.
Okay.
Or if we did, I did not write it down.
Okay. So he says it's called Essence of Slime Wall.
Slime wall.
Yeah. And he says, I didn't name it. I would have called it something else. But it's and he describes the mushroom that you all have now seen up close, right?
Oh, that's fine. I'm also covered in essence of slime wall.
Well, I wouldn't say you're covered in it, but just be aware.
Yeah, I did lick some off.
Oh God! All right. Well, So I was gonna say you don't want to get it in your mouth or nose or anything like that because it will have some unpredictable effects.
Oh, especially with the Bipper Bang around.
It's obviously afraid of the pepper bang, but also seems to be
Oh well.
protecting you. That's awesome.
I'm
Right.
nodding enthusiastically.
In my experience, having some of this on my skin when I do need to scoot past, and he does a little like lovely movement with this torso. His muscles are rippling all over the place. Sorry, we're having mostly naked Channing Tatum this week.
Great.
Um,
Beat that.
Our campaign has been sorely lacking in eye candy.
Mm.
The only better thing would be if we could have had Adam here
Yes.
portraying
Yes. Yeah.
Magic Michael.
Agreed. Magical Michael.
Magical Michael.
I don't know, that killing bar has been pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of mileage there.
Can't complain.
There's so many miles. Anyway, he says, well, with this on me, it helps me move through some of the tighter spots, but also when it does come in contact with the bibberbine, this is probably the wrong way to describe it, but it gets that bibberbang as high as a kite. It loves it.
So the Bibberbang loves the goo, but the goo seems to be afraid of the Bibberbang.
I'm not sure I would characterize it that way, but
Because when I ate it,
yeah, I really, again, cannot discourage that enough.
I tried.
It is
tried.
extremely unpredictable and can cause explosions and all sorts of things.
so it's a good thing that we didn't test it anymore over here.
Yes.
And
I
boy,
am
it-
even more curious about how my
tried it
cats are
more
gonna
than
respond
once?
to this now.
Well, first they turned into a potted plant.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yep.
Mhm.
But then I was really afraid of the Bibberbang, and I thought it must be the goo that is afraid of the Bibberbang. Or it's reacting to the Bibberbang spores, so we tested it for science.
Well, I'll tell you.
And there was a shield that only shielded me from the Bibberbang, so it must be reacting to the Bibberbang spores.
The reason I don't bring my mighty mastiff down here with me anymore is he got a little taste on the side of my hand and was the center of a conflagration that was very luckily not close enough to the Bibberbang. I was very badly burned.
Oh, so don't let Stool have it.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll try it out first.
yes, chat. It is fungal magic surge, wild magic surge. Yeah, but it does wonders for getting through the Bibberbang. I'll tell you. Now that is a trade secret, and I'm trusting you to keep this to yourself.
I don't see it being a thing that comes up in the future.
All right. Very good. As is my farming location here. I hope obviously it doesn't belong to anybody, but if the whole world found out, I feel like they'd come down here and just trample the thing to heck. Excuse my language.
We have good news. No one can come in that way again.
I mean, they would have to be able to jump really, really far and also not die at the end of the shoot.
Or
Yes.
fly.
Or fly. Yes, people that fly could come in that way.
All right.
But there aren't any people who can fly at the circle, so.
Yeah, how much does Magic Mike know about how Myconid memory works?
Magical Michael.
Magical Michael, yes. Right. Magical Michael. Excuse me, pardon me. Sorry. My mind is elsewhere.
All right. So, what is the question you're posing to Magical Michael?
So how much so we talked about this in the episode before, that the circle doesn't really have a concept of secrets.
Yeah.
Because
And I
we
think
share
also-
memories and
And
experiences.
the noble stock doesn't do anything for you. You remember
Yeah.
everything the circle has ever known.
Yeah.
so-
when Magical Michael mentions keeping the location, like the trade secret in that, I'm like, I'm kind of stumped. I'm intrigued by that concept again, and say, so how much do you know about how our circles work?
Oh, well, I know you all have a kind of a shared mind situation, and you get along, go along to get along, so to speak, and nobody really you all don't cause much of a problem, and folks don't generally cause a problem for you, is my understanding.
That's actually why we're down here, though.
Oh,
Because I remembered that in a few days, some people are going to come down to attack the circle.
hang on, I'm not sure we're using that word the same way.
There was a festival.
All right.
This festival was the festival.
Oh, yeah, what was that other mushroom?
Where was the mushroom thing?
Reticular.
Particular.
This was the Reticular Festival.
Oh. And
And so I remembered a lot of things.
how
And
much reticular did you eat? Out of, say, this size donut, about how much do you think you consumed?
I mean, they gave me one and I ate one.
Oh, God. Okay. For the
Should I have
record,
had more?
I wouldn't recommend it. Do you have any more?
Not right now. The festival's over.
Okay, so back in the city, just so you know, you ate about 1,000 golds worth of mushroom.
I mean, people give me things all the time. I'm sure it's fine.
It's a very strong medicinal thing that can help you sort of sort out memories and whatnot, and does occasionally remember ahead of. So, okay, I understand what we're talking about now. All right, so you remembered a few days from now. What was it you remembered?
Did a bunch of people, like, well, maybe not a bunch. It was like 6 people, some humans, some other shorter people are gonna come and attack the circle.
Okay, this is mostly formality. I do want you to make a persuasion check. Since you're telling the truth. And you're actually, so like, the problem is Magical Michael is not an evil piece of shit, right? And has a heart.
I get thread. So that's 19,
Oh,
dirty,
God.
dirty 19.
Okay. So we have so many more dirty numbers now. 'Cause it matters. He says, all right, well, then you probably want the noble stock to help you get that memory a little solidified.
That is what my bestie, Night Friend, was telling me.
All right.
Because, and then the Sovereign also said that it would probably be better if we all had a little bit more detail, because 6 people, some humans and some shorter, is not actually enough detail to go on.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to, let's see. There's a few different ways to do negotiation in D&D. He is amenable. He wants to make a deal with you. He cares that people are in danger, but this is really expensive stuff, and he, also has a shop to run. He's kind of like us in real life, that like we are dealing with capitalism because it's been foisted upon us, and he found a way to do well at it. Okay, so normally he would sell it for 100 gold. So we're gonna start with him assuming you would buy it for 50 gold. That's
Okay.
half off, right? And I know that the 3 of you could put 50 gold together, but at least for Night Friend, like that feels like overpaying, right? And like, I don't know, would you try to, because would Ezthe care of like, do we have 50 gold? Like, you would just try to do it, right?
Ezthe wouldn't care, but Ezthe also doesn't have 50 gold, and
Oh.
would not assume
Oh, that everyone's gonna kick in.
that, also doesn't know how much money Night Friend and Veer have,
Sure, okay.
and would not assume that we have 50 gold, because that feels like a lot.
That's
And whoever has 50 gold.
Right. It is like going around with $100 bill in your pocket, or maybe actually it's like 500. I think it's like 100 to 1, something like that.
That's
Either
a lot.
way, it's a
So-
lot of money.
I don't think the 3 of us have ever talked about money in any sort of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
it's like
would we?
$5,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So much money.
Yeah.
The fact that I still have 19 gold in my pockets,
Yeah.
because it's not just in one pocket, it is.
Yeah.
I would have to shake out a shoe at
Yeah.
this point.
And that's like having almost $2,000 in your pocket. But
Like,
that's
it's
all
so
of your
much.
money in the world. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Night Friend would grab out some of the samples of that the lichen they were collecting when
Oh, yeah.
Ezthe fell down into the Underdark, because that like specifically only grows in that one spot,
Oh, yeah.
and offer that to him as part of the payment.
Ooh, okay. All right, so we're gonna do another persuasion check. Let's see. His passive wisdom's whatever would be like 16. So we're gonna do DC 16.
Do we still have advantage from the...
Yeah, we're gonna have like a couple things here.
Okay.
For every point over 16, I'm gonna take 5% off.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And if we're under 16, well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. But I think with the moss, let me evaluate the moss here.
It's a rare moss.
Yeah. So it is this like little bit of moss that you have. Oh, do an insight check for me.
Okay.
This will be fun with advantage.
Okay. With advantage. Dice are bad. Dice are mad. That is 11.
That's okay. I'm going to tell you he recognizes it. Right?
Okay.
But he manages to hold his reaction at bay. You don't know if he's excited or not. But he's like, oh, interesting. You have the lime lichen.
Yes. She
The
definitely
limekin.
knew that's what it was
The
called.
lime.
Limekin.
Thank you. So he says, yeah, but we could work in a value of that. About how much of it do you have? And while he's talking, he turns. You could tell. Well, Ezthe, you recognize right away he's doing prestidigitation, right? All the goo lifts off of his body, and he finds his traveling clothes, right? And he's just sort of getting dressed while he's talking to you. breeches, shirt, just sort of normal. He's not in armor or anything, but also is some kind of magic user. So,
Oh, once we're done here, I could do that, and we could put more in vials for you.
That would be useful. Especially now that we have a specific use for it other than licking it and randomly turning into things.
The limekin.
The goo.
Oh,
goo.
right. Okay. Yeah, his just like turns into vapor and disappears. Yeah. So, okay. I need to know what we're saying to him and what we're just reacting to.
So, in my case, I feel like we have a rare thing, you have a rare thing. So it makes perfect sense that we would trade the rare things.
Right. Okay. Well, what I've got, and the amount that you would need to bring your memory up, or bring your memory back to you, is worth about 5 times as much as your limekin that you've gathered there.
But we're helping people. This way you also know to look out for these awful people, since you're down here and they could be coming while you're here.
Yes, this has occurred to me, and I'm concerned. Then again, my trip does need to bear fruit. So, and by the way, his trip seems to consist of like 2 big mushrooms, right? And they're noble stalks, right? You can see, but they're like, I forget what they look like in the game. I think this is just kind of standard mushroom shape, right? Like, yeah, whatever.
Honestly, I have never made it out with an intact one. I have a fragment of one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've only played twice. It's not like the first time I didn't even know I could get any.
Yeah.
The second time I
it's
blew it up
tricky.
because it was fun.
It's tricky, yeah. I always blow it up afterwards because it is a fantastic light show. Yeah, it's this, we'll say it's a mushroom cap, but rather than sort of rounded, it looks like a big spiral cinnamon roll kind of thing, but like white and gray, and that's the part you really need, but you could grind it all up, and and what you need is like a silver dollar size chunk of that cinnamon roll. And
Well, you have like lots and lots over there, so even if I get one, then there'll still be lots and lots for you to go back with.
you're not wrong, and I'm willing to make a deal. I want you to have this, and we could all learn more about what it is that's coming down here, because certainly this is a delicate ecosystem, and I would not want to see anything happen to it. So,
You would have the circle's gratitude.
now, which circle are we talking about?
Oh, the circle of Minar.
And without even an intuition check, what's it called?
Insight.
Insight. You can tell he's recognized the name of the circle.
Okay, all right.
All right. Well, let's say that amount of limekins worth about let's say 20 gold, right? So I would just need 30 to part with this. That's pretty reasonable, I think.
Well, I mean, it starts digging coins out of places, and it's like, well, why won't you? Can't you just take?
Yeah. So let's do persuasion with advantage. Yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll see.
Oh my god. I'm legit gonna use my inspiration to
Okay.
reroll.
Okay,
Wow.
that's fine. Yeah, you get to reroll all the dice. For advantage, folks who are listening, if you're not familiar with our 2d10 system, we roll 3d10 and take the better 2 dice.
That was disgusting.
Oh, that sucks.
I shouldn't have rerolled these dice.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Were they the same?
No, one was better
Oh no.
Oh, no.
by one.
You want to pick
Oh.
different dice?
Yes.
You haven't told me what it is.
I'm picking different dice. Fuck these dice.
Those dice
You're-
were mean.
Fuck all
They're
of
in
y'all.
timeout. Do you want to roll the GM dice?
I mean, kind of, but I also
Danger.
have all of these dice
Yeah.
with me. So, like, let's try again with other dice that aren't so rude.
Mm. It's homophobic, really. And during Pride.
Really is. So that's an 18 on these dice.
Okay. So then he's going to take another 10% off, right? Can you make a persuasion check for me, please, Knight Friend?
Can try.
Yep. With
I mean-
advantage.
It's important to know I have a +7. My first roll was 2 1s and a 2.
Wow. That's a crit fail. Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, I guess you would. Yeah, 3. 3 is a crit fail. Yeah.
Good thing I have advantage. That's 15.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take another 5% off.
Sweet.
I'm gonna say like I see enough of this wheeling and dealing, and like I'm invested. We need this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start. I have studded leather armor.
Yeah.
With because we don't use metals.
Yeah.
We use Zerkwood like fragments,
Sure.
right? And I know that other Underdark dwellers have come and they mine or not mine, but they harvest Zerkwood for a variety of uses. It's incredibly sturdy. My halberd or my glaive is made of Zerkwood,
Sure.
like one long piece of it. So I start like kind of just like pulling off pieces of Zerkwood and saying, "Could you have use for this?"
Well, that looks like aged Zerkwood to me.
It is from some of our groves, and they are the best that we have.
Let's roll persuasion with advantage.
All right, with advantage.
Yeah. And it's DC 14.
Okay. Oh my lord, that was a good. That was
Oh,
a good
okay.
one. I have
Yeah,
a
you were
-1 to persuasion.
You're rolling hot today, though.
I am. That's 17.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Okay, so that's another.
Wait, but you
it's
rolled an
15,
18,
17.
which is a crit.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, I did.
Natural
a 10 and
18.
an 8.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a
yeah.
crit. Okay, so that would have been another 20% off. We were already at 15, so we're 35%. But
Okay.
then we're going to go turn the 20 into 40%, so it's 55% off. So it's 55% of 30 gold is
16.
12. Yeah, less than, it's, yeah, 55%
You know what?
off.
I'm gonna just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
it's,
it's 12.
yeah, 12 gold.
Okay.
Sweet, I've got that.
All right. Well, y'all are just so delightful. Now, and he very carefully, he like draws this literal silver paring knife. I think our Goliath, like you could just smell silver, right? It's not dangerous to you, but just like metals. You came from that mining town.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's the real stuff. Yum.
Nostalgia.
Don't put that in your mouth, but like, maybe.
I mean, live your life.
Yeah. But yeah, carefully carves off a bit. The discerning viewer would notice he carves off a little bit more than he needed to.
Oh.
Okay.
But says, okay, now, don't eat this just yet, okay? I've got a couple suggestions, if that's all right.
Okay.
All right, so just hang on to that. It is clear from his body language, he thought if he handed it to you, it would snap into your mouth so fast.
Not wrong.
Or you might eat it out of his hand. And he's like,
well, not that part.
right, but like this is like he's offering a treat to a dog, and it's like, not thinking of you as a dog, but like, I'm in danger. Right?
I mean, not wrong.
Um,
But also, I feel like Ezthe is very used to that reaction, so it's just like how people are.
sure.
This is how people are.
Sure. And he says, now, if y'all would be open to it, I understand everyone has their secrets in the Underdark. Where you're like, what?
Yeah.
We do? But
Secrets are overrated.
depending on what it is you remember from this, I would be inclined to come and help, because if something is a threat to this ecosystem here, this is an area I frequent. I do my best to treat it with respect and be as low impact as possible. But if I can help out, if it's a thing that I might be able to help with, Would that be all right for me to come with you after this?
That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as long as Ver is fine with it,
Yeah.
then yeah.
As long as you promise not to do any harm to the circle.
You want to
Of
roll
course.
insight?
Insight, sure.
See if he's full of shit.
Okay, now it's not so great. I get plus
And
5.
just because he is a poker face negotiator, we're gonna go with that DC 16. Like
Okay. Oh,
he is just yeah.
it's a 14. So
So it's not that it's bad. It's just you can't tell if he's being sincere or not.
yeah, sure.
And he's a weird human, you know.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I mean, I'm again like whether I believe he's I'm fully confident that Magical Michael is sincere. You're still helping us out, so
Okay.
I'll be open to
Do you
it.
want to roll insight?
Sure, why not?
I don't think Ezthe would think there's a chance he's lying, right?
Of course he's telling me.
Yeah. Okay.
No one ever
Cool.
lies to me.
17 on the dice,
Oh.
plus 3 is 20.
Okay. Yeah, you you dredge up your memory of your folks where they'd sell ore and they were dealing with traveling salesmen all the time and the real sleazy ones sometimes because you have to you just get through that encounter as best you can and a little bit about it like wow I haven't thought about that in a long time and the thing you get from him is like he's weirdly honest. Like, how are you a successful businessman? Because you say the thing and then you do that. That's what you're getting. You get that whole vibe from him. I'm like, respects boundaries, probably.
We found the honest businessman.
Yeah.
We found the one.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you at least have peace of mind if you
Yeah.
want to invite him.
So I think they would give you kind of a like
Thumbs up.
yeah, kind of a mental thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say now we have to find another way back to the circle. The path that we took here is not going to work for us.
Well, the path won't work if you can't fly.
We have already established that flying is not amongst our skill set currently.
It will be an option for us returning.
We do have to get all the way back across, though.
Let's get the nature of your memory first.
Oh, so now I can eat it.
Now you may want to lie down. He was gonna have you lie down first, and, but he has you lie down on his cot, and for the record, it smells very fresh. So he clearly prestidigitates, he takes care of his space. But gives you some water and has you lay back. He's like, now you will be away for a little blink, and you're right. And to you two, he's explaining you'll be out for about an hour or so, and we'll find something to do. Oh, they're gone. All right. Well, do either of you play cards? He's gonna try to teach you. Let's see, Three Dragon Monty is the trick thing. I forget what the card game is called. The poker. What's it called?
They have Three Dragon Ante.
Oh, Three Dragon Ante.
Yeah,
but that's the cards. That's the shell game, right?
Yeah, it's like an actual card game
okay.
in the Forgotten Realms, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he wants to play Three Dragon Ante.
Okay.
And, the three. He's like,
Sure.
I assume we have to teach you how to play, well, actually, if any Myconid had learned at some point.
Yeah, that's you know what? I'm gonna roll a percentile.
Sure. Okay.
Upper percentile, then yes. Lower percentile, nope. That is a 7.
Okay.
So I guess this colony has managed to avoid card games.
Yeah, I think you're familiar with Lanceboard.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right.
Also,
yeah.
the colony likes because you share a mind when two people are playing. They're really it's this really strange, tense exercise of, well, if you win, we both win, but we don't. It's so weird and strange, right? That and kind of what the other person is going to do. So if I do this and you're going to do that, then I'll do this. What?
Yeah. It's almost like We have to practice to not get analysis paralysis.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he sets up some cards for you to pass the time. Ezthe, you fall into a very comfy, overstuffed leather chair, right? And you're in a study, a den, right? There's a roaring fire in the fireplace. There is a little round table to the side of you with a glass of wine. It's warmed. It's like mulled wine and some biscuits and things that are there. And then to the left of your, right in front of you is a low coffee table, and it has a little booklet in it. And you can, when you open it, you can see there are little, 8.5 by 11, like, here's a memory of when you met Darmok, what's his name?
Flintcook.
Flintcook. Oh yeah, the other name. Yeah. Here's a memory of when Flintcook fell off the fence and you had to go get
Oh,
help.
it's like a comic. Okay, good.
Right.
This is a book that as they would pick up then.
Right, but it's in order, and it's substantial, right? It's like when you turn the pages, like these pages are thick. There's no way, like this book is not the appropriate thickness for how many pages there are. It's magic, yay! But you flip through and you find it is, as you get closer to today, it gets physically more difficult to turn the pages. But you only have to get to like within a few days from now, right? And each page, as you go to turn it, like it starts to, you get to today, and it took both hands to turn the page because it was like heavy. Okay, and it doesn't rip or anything. It's
just difficult.
Yes. You could see the memories from today. You're like, okay, I gotta turn the page, right? So believe it or not, I would like you to make a strength save.
Oh no.
Yeah, physical strength in this vision in your mind.
See how this is gonna go this time. Let's go with these two. One of those was a good die. It's a 10.
Okay, that's fine. It's DC 10.
Okay.
You're turning a page, right? We would never even roll. But this page is so heavy, right? You have to like get a fingernail under it and then slide your hand like, okay. And you could see tomorrow, right? And you're like, okay, that doesn't look like, and you're just kind of scanning big picture wise, right? Like, doesn't look like anything that exciting for tomorrow. Okay. And it also is, as soon as you got past today, it's getting a little fuzzy. Like not your vision away from the book is fine, right? But when you look at it, it's like you have to close one eye and turn your head a little bit. You're like, oh, okay, I can read this now. But the sense you get is like, oh, that's because the future is not literally set, right? Like you can change it. And that's why this is so difficult to work through. But you turn another page 2 days from now, everything sort of looks normal around the circle. And then on the third day, 3 days from today, so we're all counting the right, if it's Sunday today, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? So Wednesday is, you can see there is, like right away, you just see fire and violence, right? You're like, oh, okay, let me sort of turn half a page back, and then that works, right? You turn back to the beginning of Wednesday.
Nice.
Even though the previous page was Tuesday.
Yeah, no, don't overthink it.
Yeah. That's Ezthe's strong point. Not overthinking things.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, went too far. Boop.
Yeah. Never mind that was Tuesday. It's earlier Wednesday. And you start to zoom in, right? And you flip the page back and forth a few times, and you're like, okay, that was too early, so I'll turn the page again. And now you're like closer to, so you could see right around 10 or so in the morning, right? Very early in the morning. I forget, is they a late sleeper? Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Well, technically, we're in the Underdark.
right, but like at home, their normal thing.
No, my aunt has to.
Yeah.
Like, there are no more pitchers of water getting upended on Ezthe because then it turns out that things happen.
Yeah.
But there are.
Well,
There's yelling. There's alarm clock
Yeah.
kind of stuff happening.
Your aunt doesn't have you on the morning feed, like the chickens need to eat first thing in the morning, you know, the various things. But then you go out to do stuff a little bit later. That there's still chores that need to be done.
Yeah.
And they could be done later in the day.
I pull my weight,
Yes,
but nothing that has to happen super early.
got it. So very early, the crack of dawn at 10 a.m. The crack of 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is the first time in weeks that you have a clear sense of what time it is right now, right?
Yeah.
It is, just for the sake of this, it is currently 2 p.m. Sunday,
Oh, wow.
right? And 10 a.m. Wednesday, you know, like you just have a sense of like, oh, this is clearly what time it is. Like, oh, weird. Okay. And you remember forward to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, and you see several of these, you know, what did we say, like dwarves and humans for the most part, and not Dwergar. They're lighter skinned dwarves, and you know, a mix of humans. You actually realize one of the ones you thought was a human is a half elf, as you see them kind of moving around you, and now you're like reading this comic book of that day, right? And you can see them coming in with their like little firebomb things, and they're burning. We've got the Myconids running around on fire, and it's horrible, right? Like it's just a terrible war scene, and they're there to actually, I guess you wouldn't know why they're there, but you know you can back it up a little bit more now. You can only slide along your memory. Right, so you weren't with them when they were making their plans, so there's no way to back up to
But
that.
which way did they come from?
That's what I'm going to give you. So you can see enough of the. You get the Myconid version of your memory, right? Because you're in the spores and the, and so you do get a fairly expansive view of what tunnel they came down, how long they sat there, sort of looking like the Myconids were aware of them, quote unquote, hiding, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there's a bunch of people over there. Okay. Whatever. And the, half dozen people, but they're very well outfitted, right? Several of them are in armor, either, you know, hardened leather or metal armor. They have, you know, professional looking weapons. One of them is definitely a wizard of some kind. You know, it's like a big adventuring party, right? Of like,
Assholes.
yeah, exactly. And for some reason, they're here to sack the Circle of Minar.
That's very not cool. Okay. Well, now that I've read this, just need to hold on to this memory.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe see something else that'll be fun.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a second. As you're playing cards, Magical Michael casually brings up your armor, Knight Friend.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as we mentioned before, looks kind of like a clam,
Mhm.
right? It's not exactly like that, but it's that you have a shell on the front and back that essentially came from the same organism, and it has tendrilled into your body, right?
Mhm.
It is a symbiotic with your body, and you just had to feed it a little blood every morning, and that's, you know, whatever. That's easy to find.
I got a few vials in my back right now.
Right. But it's not actively hurting you. You can remove it, but it would hurt you to do that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and it's useful armor. I don't want to do that. It's
right. And it's comfortable. You can lay down in it. You can, you know, whatever. Have you moved on to like adopting any arm plates or leg plates or anything, or is it like bulletproof vest and bikini bottom? Which honestly is a look I could go for.
You know what? It is a good look, but I think they probably would have some like arm plates at least
Okay.
to like.
So they found a couple smaller ones.
Yeah.
It's like a rash guard now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
But no leg stuff yet.
Probably no leg stuff. Like they like to crouch a lot to
Sure.
like really get into the moss, and like that would kind of hamper their movement. But
Sure.
yeah.
So at some point, and it's not really obvious what it is at 1st,
Mhm.
right? Like, but while you're sitting there playing cards, there's something about the light or something,
Yeah.
right? And he looks at it and he says, "My word, not friend. That is that a And he uses a word that is bleeped out from the show,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh.
it is that. Yeah, and we'll just say clam, right?
Okay.
But that's not what he said. And there's a little black bar over his mouth, and we hear, "Is that a clam armor?"
Let's see. In my insight.
Well, let's say deep clam.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, did you find it on someone, or did you find it growing somewhere?
Out of character. I don't remember if you told me how I got this.
I think you found it growing somewhere,
Okay.
right? Now, it wouldn't be like if you found it on a dead person, it would be excited to have a new host,
Yeah.
right? And like, yeah, we're gonna say you found it because you've seen some of the different stages that it can be in,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's some kind of different shaped ones. You're like, ooh, that would make a good leg plate eventually, right? Like it's longer and almost tubular, right? Like, ooh, yeah, okay, cool. We'll think about that. And yeah, you have an idea of where, like, you've gone back to look at it from time to time. It's definitely out of the way. It's definitely no one else has gone down. I mean, the myconids are like, oh yeah, those aren't edible. Like we don't do anything.
We don't need those.
Those are
Yeah.
yucky.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't cause us any harm, so whatever. But you had heard of it, and your work with the Druids, you were somewhat familiar with this organism. Yeah, you know where there is a clutch of deep clams,
Mm-hmm.
and they will, very slowly reproduce over time, and yeah, there's a little socket of them.
Yeah. So she tells him that. She's like, oh, well, I found it. I was exploring one day, and, I've seen these kind of in textbooks and stuff, but never came upon them in real life, and there it was.
I also have never come in contact with them. Is it true that, now, are you in any kind of discomfort?
Oh,
is
no, it's very comfortable.
I see. All right. Would you mind if I touched it?
Well, let me ask.
Does it communicate with you?
I mean, it kind of does, yeah.
Huh.
And she, like, kind of knocks on it, and it's like, armor friend, is it okay if he touches you?
You just don't hear anything in like,
I can feel, like, the hum, though,
Yeah,
sometimes, if it responds.
yeah,
Um,
it doesn't seem to be one way or the other.
if it's unfussed, then she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, doesn't seem to care.
All right. So he reaches out, he just kind of like runs a thumb along the shiny black material.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, that is just fascinating. I don't suppose you'd be willing to share that location with me?
Well, I suppose we could do another trade if you were interested.
I
And
would be
information?
very interested in something like that. I have a fair amount of things with me here. But I'd be willing to go get more. So he's also tipped his hand at how valuable he thinks that information is.
Okay.
Um,
I'd also like to know what you're going to do with the information. Is it for personal use, or would you be planning on, like, selling them?
well, my goal would be to see if they can't be cultivated in some way.
Oh.
But it is a great mysterious, a great mystery of the Underdark of where these deep clams come from. Some don't even think they're real. But it seems to me it might be.
Well, I can assure you it is very
Mhm.
real. It is a little bit of a responsibility for the wearer, I will warn you.
I see. It is a living creature, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes, I
Yes.
see that.
And it does need to be fed,
I see.
or it will feed.
Yes, that's, I can see that comes with a measure of responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And it does have a, manner of its own opinions, so respect is in order.
Interesting. All right.
So I think I would be a little concerned if there was, commerce involved because the consent of the organism is important.
I see. Interesting. Well, I mean, that would be somewhat down the road if it's even possible to cultivate it at all. But it seems like it's a sort of thing that would be real useful to a number of people. And if you can't afford the metals or you don't get along with metals, I know some folks, I think some folks in your tradition who generally don't care for being in contact with metals.
It is very nice to have more organic sort of armor. And if you don't mind having a symbiotic relationship with your wearables, then it's pretty beneficial.
Well, if everything goes well this week, if your friend remembers the pertinent details, maybe that's something we could talk about.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd be happy to take a look at what you have to trade for that information.
Okay. So given that he's already given away this is worth hundreds of gold to him, just the knowledge, right, of where they are, and maybe permission to like take one and like try to plant it around here maybe. So they are in a deep well. It's like a underground lake, right? And it's a lake that if you were to take all the water out, it looks like like somebody dropped a bomb, right? So it's this very sort of crater shaped lake, and then in the bottom of that there's like it cracks open deeper into the earth and another 30-40 feet down. How deep can people skin dive? I don't know anything about diving.
That day, yeah.
Okay.
I also don't know.
I'm pretty sure you can go 40 feet underwater.
That seems reasonable.
It is all the way down there, and it almost absorbs the light, so it'd be very unlikely somebody would ever stumble across it. But you were swimming around, and you're like, ooh, what's in there?
Oh.
Night Friend is a very like, ooh, what's in there kind of person.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
Most people can dive up to a maximum of 60 feet safely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say the normal part of the lake is about 20 feet deep, and then this crevice is another like 40 feet. So yeah, it's about 60 feet of water depth to get down there, and that's not out of possibility.
What the?
Oh
Sorry.
boy. Okay. We went down a rabbit hole, I think.
Just a brief. The maximum depth reached by anyone in a single breath is 702 feet.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He also holds the record for the deepest no-limit free dive, 831 feet. But he did brain injury on the way up.
Yeah.
That's a danger.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
it's
not that far down.
I'm gonna keep us on track here. We got half an hour left.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so just know that is a very delicate ecosystem around that. They're extremely rare. And so what he's asking is a very high bar thing. And he's already tipped his hand. So,
I think, not knowing what they are, I think she's aware that this is an extremely rare piece of information anyway, so...
I mean, the fact that he has learned they're real, right, was huge.
Yeah.
And he's probably spent the last half hour we're playing cards like, can I ask them about it? I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask. And, finally, like when he asked, he was like, I'm sorry to, and be in your space, like that kind of thing. Like, but yeah, in the end, he wants to know all about it. Do you take it off ever? Do you just leave it on and live with it? What, how does that work? I think you probably haven't removed it.
Unnecessary. Why would I remove it?
Yeah.
It's so comfortable and also like friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're a team now.
Okay. So you wake up.
Oh.
Oh, what was there? something you wanted to?
I mean, it says they. So now that the thing that they went in, like that they took the noble stock for, they have the information. But also, this book is really cool.
Yeah.
And like, gotten used to flipping some pages back and forth and whatever. And so, what if now that I know that I can like kind of like maybe if I just want it hard enough, if I flip one more page, I could say something else fun from the future. But like farther for the future.
Okay. As you do, you hear a voice that you don't really recognize, except it does have, like, you know, every family has sort of a cadence to the way they talk to each other. Some of it'll be regional, some of it'll be, this is how our family talks to each other. So you hear a voice that you don't recognize, but the cadence is familiar. And you hear a relatively high feminine voice say, "Dear heart, you don't really want to turn that far ahead, do you?"
But I keep having to remember all this stuff that's not actually... I just want something fun.
Looking that far in the future doesn't usually work out that well for folks. You had a specific task to do. I'm proud of you for doing it. Try not to do Magical Michael's accent, but that's not what this person sounds like.
Aw.
Oh, sorry, I do know what they sound like. And it's, dear heart, you don't want to move too far ahead. If you look too far ahead, but it's in this like sort of very pleasant woman's voice. And without seeing her, you know that she uses she, her pronouns.
Aw. Fine.
There will be time to see the future. You will be there. You will live it.
Surprises are nice, I guess. Sometimes. Is it gonna be a good surprise?
I don't know. I don't look.
Fine.
But do know we are so proud of you and so excited for what you learn and what you do next.
Oh, that'll be good. I definitely need to remember to tell besties about that when I get back. The circle has been so much fun. I might stay down here for a long time.
What are the out of character? What are the high level spells you've taken? You have like level 5 spells now, right?
I have 4th level spells.
4th spells. Okay. What did you take at 4th level?
And I took Stone Skin and Vitriolic Sphere.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, Stone Skin is my expanded spell list.
Yeah. That you get for free.
Spirit of Death.
Okay. Well, the stone skin is helpful actually. Oh, you're also supposed to have Death Ward. Maybe it didn't show
I
up on
do
there.
have Death Ward.
Okay.
As well. I'm seeing it. The problem is, for anyone wondering how I don't know what my spells are, A, I don't look at them that often, and B, all the spells are arranged alphabetically in D&D Beyond, which means all the ones I can upcast are also there, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the ones that don't have
When
a
you
little blue
scroll the
box.
4th level spells, it shows all of the spells that can be upcast to that and your 4th level spells, which is,
Yes.
I wish there was a way to turn that off.
You can.
Oh,
Yeah.
how?
In the home screen of when you go into your character editor, the very first screen, the home screen, there's a box that you can uncheck that says show upcast spells or
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll be addressing that immediately after
yeah.
the
I always turn that off.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest
Okay, we're gonna address it right now.
I'm sorry, it's
No,
just such a
I'm
it's
not-
like it
You
like
don't have to
the
apologize. I'm teasing.
level
and it's
scale
fine.
spells.
There we go.
I am
Yeah.
also annoyed by it.
The
so
quality of life improvement is so intense
it's immediate.
right
Yes.
now. Death Ward, Spirit of Death, Stone Skin, and Vitriolic Sphere. Those
Okay.
are my 4th level spells.
But Spirit of Death and Vitriolic are ones you chose. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So this voice says, I wonder, we've not spoken much. Do you have the skin hardening technique yet?
Yeah, I can turn my
Well, so actually,
skin-
so at this point, your
Oh,
character doesn't
that's true.
have that, right? So I want to
No.
have that back and forth.
No, I don't know how
Well,
to.
It's all right. Most of us learn it. It's fine. It will come to you. It's like instinct.
Oh. Does that mean I'm gonna get like a friend, like Night Friend has?
You have friends.
course I have friends.
Yes, you will have, you do have, you did have.
Well, yeah. Oh, I guess if I stay here for a long time, then Flint Cook is going to kind of wonder where I am.
Yes, you will see Flint Cook again. Him? Flint Cook?
Yes.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember, and so now it is.
You will see him again. Yes. He's a good boy.
He's my best friend. As is Night Friend and Fear.
Yes. You will not be with them long. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell. But enjoy while with.
Always. We've had lots of fun, and I'm sure we will have a lot of fun kicking the shit out of these people who are going to come and try to ruin the party.
Yeah. And Ezthe would also know, like, this, the woman speaking, this is clearly a Goliath accent, right? This is how most Goliaths sound when they speak common. So that's also, you know, but yeah, it's just this voice in your mind. And actually, as you continue to speak and engage with the voice, this woman steps around from behind your chair. You found you're like gonna look and you're not able to look behind the chair. Like you go to and then you're just not, right? There's just nothing behind you. Don't worry about it, right? But this big gray hand lands on your left shoulder, and this woman walks around, and we'll say this is much more of a like Gwendolyn Christie Goliath woman, and she has all this great like there is sort of a granite-like, almost like vitiligo, sort of like variations in skin coloring and glittering that you get in granite, right? And she has tattoos on top of it. And probably the most notable thing is you see one tattoo that is a, this is what kind of like jars your attention, like, and unlocates you for a moment, right? You see this tattoo that is across her chest because she has this very deep cut flowing gown sort of thing, and the center, the sleeve or whatever that's called, right, is
Neckline?
like, yeah, the neckline is like almost to her belly button, right? And you can see that she has had her tattoo go from several of the glittering points of her skin, sort of like if we had freckles, you know, has drawn the constellation that is the most prominent constellation used in Jaden's museum, like the observatory, right? And that's it's the constellation that is Jaden's room, right? And then you have the thought of like, who's Jaden? Right?
What room?
But there's a series of things that happen, and you're like, oh, that looks like Jaden's constellation, right? Like, whatever. Am I getting the name wrong? Jaden.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Suddenly I was like, I said it wrong. What's happened?
This is every time
Yeah.
I try to say Jaden or Gralen,
Yeah.
I have a moment where I'm
Galen
like,
and Graydon. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you have you have seen this woman, and she is in just this gorgeous cream white gown, like not unlike like Wonder Woman or Greek goddess sort of a garment, but it's not a toga, right?
Yeah.
But it's that sort of style. Almost, it's not cream, it's like pearlescent material, right? And she kind of sits on the edge of the armchair on your left, and looks at the book and says, well, what were your favorite parts so far?
Oh, there was this time when Flint Cook and I, and like it is just like a series of ridiculous misadventures
Right.
that started with detention and ended with detention.
Amazing.
Yes, this is good. Flint Cook is good friend. I'm proud of you. You are doing well. You are learning well.
the circle has really helped me not do a bunch of things that I don't mean to do. So that's going to be great, I think, moving forward.
Yes, it's time to talk about that. The doing things. You need to know, you are not sorcerer the way you think.
I
What-
don't really know what that means.
You know what sorcerer is.
Yes.
Yes. So you are
So I'm a wizard?
no. The look of disdain of like, we are not nerds. Gross.
Oh, thank God, because if I had to go read all those books,
No.
I mean, no offense to my
Only
dads.
reading for fun, only. No, we are good at what we do because we are what we are. And our family. What weapon have you been using? And I think maybe at this point in your life you haven't had weapon training.
No, this is really just like, well, there's that stick that Auntie has been teaching me moves with, but it's so, I mean, sometimes it's fun to do and sometimes it's just so boring to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes, there will be some practice necessary, but think for instance, and then she gestures in a sort of like illusory set of options. There's like a rapier with this really elaborate sort of handguard. There's a short sword that looks sort of, you know, like its job is very clear. Like I cut people open and I like it. You know, it's like a vicious weapon, right? The rapier is an elegant weapon. There's a scimitar that is somewhere between the two, right? Of like, I'm also good at cutting people open.
Oh, that one looks so fancy.
The rapier.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Good. Your auntie, she has. You ask for. You will feel right.
Oh, okay. It would be a lot more fun to use that than the stick.
Yes. It's important to have place for your power to go. Otherwise, it go everywhere. In nowhere.
Yeah, that happens a bunch.
You will also be sure drink water and get sleep. It's like we're getting into more like another auntie, you know, like this level of like you wear sunscreen, you know, they make sure you're eating.
Regardless of what you think, you can get sun cancer.
Right, like are you eating, you know, like
I eat all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I had this giant mushroom that they gave me for the festival the other day.
yes, okay. Well,
It was so tasty. Also, I'm just saying that it's not like there's only myconids here, and I'm not that I would be like completely not into myconids, but I just don't see Veer that way. But like, my friend is really hot.
well, yes, this will be defining nature of your life because you also will attract and is
I mean, people are really nice to me all the time.
yes, this is good. You should feel that is good to feel. And you will not need to have noble stock to hear from me again, but you will need to learn meditate. Is very difficult.
Well, maybe if I get to talk to you, it'll be easier.
Well, you meditate to talk, and then talk is done, so you will figure.
Fine. I'll try.
And without any sort of preamble or anything else, the dream fades away, and you're sitting up on the cot.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, and also you feel more rested than any. Well, I don't know. How is Ezthe a good sleeper? Or are they sleeping because they're not sleeping well? Or
I think as they goes through periods of insomnia,
yeah,
there's just a lot of energy there.
yeah.
Like there's so much energy there, and like
Are we
it's
just writing my
hard
actual
not
childhood now?
to. It's just really hard
Yeah.
not to be doing something with all of that.
Yeah, so this actually feels like you have completed a true long rest. You know, like that's what you like. Oh, is this what people feel like? This is. Oh my
This
God.
is why people are so excited about going to bed.
Yeah. Oh, this is cheating. Like what? Yeah. So you you come out of that. It doesn't have any hangover effects. It's like this effect lasted for 60 seconds, and no, it was minutes, 60 minutes, and then it just sort of just goes away like mist, and you are once again rooted in the now, but you have a very clear idea of what's going to happen at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
They weren't all humans.
Hey, you're awake.
Can I say that when Ezthe wakes up, Night Friend is in the middle of explaining how much blood you have to feed their armor
Sure. Yeah.
to Magical Michael, and it's like actively pouring a little vial, and it's like, so like
Sure.
this much blood like once per day.
Sure. And are you also like, you're like having him touch parts of it, or like feel this tendril thing, like
Yeah.
like you're just weirdly close to each other, and like you're both nerding out, right? Like he's not hitting on you,
Right. No.
but you're both nerding out. Like he's like, this myth is real, right? Like that's so exciting, and you're like, look at this cool thing that I know. Special interest, what?
Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
This conversation has been happening for at least 20 minutes.
yeah. How's that been for you?
I don't think I find it unusual
Yeah.
about the living armor. Because like, wouldn't you know, I merge with other like organisms all
Sure.
the time.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I think it's fascinating actually. Again, like seeing all of this and how unusual kind of like magical Michael finds this. It's making me think more. It's making me much more curious about like where all of this point of view is coming from.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, they might be there now, but like here. I'm just very like the most focused as they has ever been in sending.
Okay, sure. Actually, like when I see you jump up, I'll kind of like stool, and I will slither over to and kind of plop down.
And like just give you the image of
Yeah.
these people attacking and where they're from. And I know that y'all will know when they get there. Like before they attack, they'll be there for a while.
Right. And now we know we can either try to talk them out of it or ambush them or whatever. Okay.
I don't recognize them, right?
No.
Okay, they're
They're
not like a
strangers.
group that. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you for sharing that. We need to get back to the Sovereign and the Circle as quickly as we can, and decide how to deal with these.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least we have a couple days to prepare. That's
Yeah.
good.
So I'm going to move us forward a little bit. A Magical Michael packs up a few of the things that he wants to bring. His like more valuable gets, but he doesn't pack up his whole campsite, right? Like most of this he leaves here and then he comes back down.
For the next time.
Yeah. But he packs up his backpack and then pulls out a fairly like tatty looking rug. It's like blue with gold stars and lines and all sorts of shapes on it. This is like you could put this in the room of an 8-year-old, right? I'm like, ooh, it's the stars. They do kind of glow in the dark, but just goes like, throws out this rug that's like maybe 6 feet wide, 8 feet long. There's a little bit of a crowd to get everybody onto it, but he explains, like this is a flying carpet and I will be able to get us back to where we're going, and rises up and follows your directions and just, goes over the Bibberbang and back over the broken bridge, back up the slides. And as you're going up, you can see like, oh, death. You're looking at all the other options, right? Of like, now that you have some time to sort of look. And he's not flying very fast, right? He's flying carefully. And he's like, ooh, like it's clear that the rug is like, oh boy, 4 people, it's a lot.
It's you know.
I'm just one rug.
Tell me, Princess Snow White.
Yes. Thank you.
Everyone must hear it.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes. So, also in the amount of time that you were spending with Magical Michael, you know, he is a wizard. He is awfully burly and lithe for a wizard, but he's also a transmutation specialist and has learned some spells like Enhance Ability, which is not a lot of wizards get. That's more of like a cleric and sorcerer sort of thing. But he has picked up this spell and can adapt his body to different things.
Nice.
And that's his specialty and he actually is quite good at making potions, but it's complicated and takes a long time, and he's just like, I don't really want to. I know how to get the stuff that people want, and then I have time to do whatever I want. So, which, you know,
Makes sense.
he's a lot of this is mystery for Ver, but he talks about like how much he likes going to open mic nights and karaoke and you know, just the various sort of entertaining things he likes going to do in the town, and he's
Transmutation wizard who's cross class with Bard.
yeah. He gets you back up to where you're supposed to be, and you go past the spot where you fought the Grell. You mentioned the thing about the Grells being full of bibber gas.
No.
I don't think that would occur to me,
Yeah.
Okay.
If he mentions the Grell,
Yeah, I mean, I
Probably.
think he's like, oh god, Grill, okay, and he like scoots way around where, because you could see some of them moving around in the distance. He's like, well, I don't want anything to do with those.
yeah, then I think Night Friend would mention it just
Oh,
out
okay.
of like scientific curiosity.
Sure.
Just like
And also, like, just so you know, if you set them on fire, they're no problem whatsoever because they explode.
Yeah, so this revelation that they're full of bibber to him is like, oh my god, this is fantastic. He did not know.
I'm
Right?
telling you, if you could catch one, it would actually be cool.
I don't want to catch one, but I am grateful to know this. Thank you for sharing.
Do you want a snack?
What is that?
It's a bibber leg. Or it's a growl leg.
What did we establish out of character with those? Or you just cooked some
Snacks.
tentacles?
Yeah, we just smoked them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what are the known properties?
Tasty.
Oh, all right. When in Candlekeep. And he takes a bite and is like, well, that's not bad.
They end up like one of those meat sticks that you
Yeah.
buy at the gas station on road
Yeah.
trips.
So he gets you back to the circle. We relay the information. And believe it or not, I kind of want to scoot past the you repel these invaders.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to do
That's the
that blow for
important
blow.
part.
Once they know that they're coming, the one thing I want to know is, do you want to ambush them or do you want to try to talk them out of whatever it is they're doing?
How terrible did they seem in my memory?
I mean, they did great violence without mercy.
Okay, yes. So, ambush and
Yeah, I think it would be
Okay.
ambushing them.
All right.
I mean, it's a big difference
Uh,
between we've all done violence, whether or not we meant to.
Yeah.
Sometimes violence happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to do violence, just in general. But there is the nuance of okay, did they think that we were bad? Did they think that the Myconents were terrible? But also if they're destroying everything and it seems really indiscriminate and evil,
Yeah.
ambush.
And you find evidence on them that they had been hired to come down here, and by, I don't know, the Rohakans died in every playthrough I've ever done, so it's
Yeah.
not that guy. That guy fucking sucks. And he would commission this, right? But it's too late. He's gone. So I think it's...
Well, this is a flashback to
Oh,
before
Yeah.
that.
it is
Mhm.
Laroakan.
Yeah.
Yep. The Wizard Laroakan of Sorceress Sundries.
what a jerk.
Mhm.
Sent them down here to see if there was anything viable, and we the viewers know he doesn't really care if they make it back. If they make it back, great, I have information. If they don't, then I won't go there.
He doesn't have to pay them the rest of
right.
the fee.
So, yeah, you take them out, and actually, one of them has a rapier on them. And this is the
Oh.
first time you've picked up a rapier. And right away, you can feel the focus, the pull, the like, oh, this is what I was missing, right? Are you right-handed, righty or lefty?
Esthe's a lefty.
Lefty. Okay. Yeah. So you fit it into your left hand, and the only problem is like, oh, this was for a righty. Okay, but it's still right. Like this feels so good in your hand. And just a little side note. Your first weapon, right? You needed to get a better one, and your aunt probably has one or can help you get one. But you also got like 500 gold off these guys, you know, and some gear and some, you know, this was like your first adventure that you actually, you know, got you to level 1, or probably level 3, so that you can become a
Yes.
martial sorcerer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this is the level 3 level up situation in which it's like,
Yeah.
man, everything's been exploding forever, and now it cannot.
Yes. Now I can control. So that happens. The circle celebrates. They lay these invaders out to be more compost and mulch, which means they need to take all the armor and stuff off them. And they're like, I don't know, to you, like above dweller, you know, like your pretend world, like maybe this, you know, or you could go sell it at the drow, right? Like that's their like one sort of context of here we don't need or want any of this, and thank you for protecting us. And you know, so that's kind of you get between the cash and the gear that you're able to sell and whatever, you get about 500 gold worth of stuff, which is not a ton of money, but
It's so much money.
it is, yeah. And does anyone need to go right at 8? Okay, we're not going to go a lot over. Are you okay, Pooja?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to switch out pens because that one decided
Gave up
that
the ghost.
it was that 756 was the
I'm finished. Okay, so the last part here is it's worth noting that Magical Michael was helpful in the conflagration. Definitely did his part to, you know, fend off these invaders, and you know, swears that he's gonna keep the circle a secret and not come and do anything here. And the circle's like, well, you can come back if you want to party, like, but as long as you're here to party, that's fine. These guys sucked. You know.
also, there's no more insight checks necessary because now it's Sporesville.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you're all on the Spore network. Yeah. It's well, that's interesting. Yeah. So it's also, well, let's see. Esthe's like 17, right?
Oh, I think we said 19.
Oh, 19?
19.
Okay.
Like, this is the early college years if you know, like books.
Sure. Yeah, if you were into that sort of thing. And then Night Friend was, what, 30, something like that?
Something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, because you've
Yeah.
been a druid for a while
Mhm.
and then found your spot here. And yeah, okay. So I think there is like when the spores first hit, one of the big pings is like how much Magical Michael is into Night Friend. Of like to know more and know them. So however that plays out is up to you, but
Me too.
yeah. And that is maybe how that plays out. What's the three of you? Like, it's none of our business.
Good for them.
Yeah. But the trip down to the lake, the underground crater lake,
Mm-hmm.
right? I assume everybody wants to go,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
We're besties. We go everywhere together.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
In the intervening time, so there is we fight off the invaders. We celebrate, of course, because it's the circle. So there's now
Obviously.
another thing on the circle's calendar to celebrate
Mm-hmm.
of that one time we killed the invaders, right?
A new festival
yeah,
appears.
new festival appears, and that takes all night, obviously. But then the next morning, knowing that he has to leave at some point soon, he's wondering if we can go see where the deep clams are. And
Yeah, he proved himself in the
Yep.
battle and then in the festival. So,
yep, and then in the tent.
show him the deep clam.
I hadn't really. Yeah, I just want to say that one wasn't on purpose. I'm not ashamed if it was. I can't take credit for it. I would be really proud of myself.
It was on purpose for me.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wish I had thought of it, but I didn't.
Need clams and then go find that living armor.
Yeah.
You do need protection.
Yeah.
Always with protection.
Safety
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The responsible thing.
But
Yeah, the episode title.
which one? Always with protection.
I was thinking show him the deep clams. But yeah, you do,
Maybe deep clam.
deep clam.
That might be it. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Or clam rock. Something. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Clam diving.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a regular thing that people do for a job.
You know.
But we head down to the lake, and he let's see. When you get there, what are there amphibious humanoids that I'm not thinking of?
I mean, there are you talking about there are sea elves?
Oh, sea elves can breathe
but I mean-
underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also in the Underdark, there are, what is it? Kuatoa and.
Well,
and,
they're barely humanoids.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, sea elves certainly.
Yeah, okay. Because I think the Kutu are actually something else. I think they're aberration or something.
I
But
can't remember.
anyway.
Kuatoa and what was the frog? Oh, bullywugs and
yes.
things like that. But yeah,
the same. Okay. Well, anyway, he not polymorph, but alters self into
yeah.
sea elf.
Mhm.
All right, so that he can dive into the water
Useful.
and swims down with you to look at these and is able to carry on a conversation underwater. I could probably figure out how to do that as well.
Figure it out, yeah.
And
Vadalkin? Are they?
Vidalkin?
Vidalkin.
Vidalkin.
There we go.
Those are from a different. They're not Forgotten Realms though. I think Vidalkins are.
that's
Acquisitions Incorporated, I think, or something.
I think it's
Or Eberron.
Eberron. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
Because I know what it is, and if I know what it is, it's probably from Eberron, because it's the only
Oh,
thing I
sure,
knew
sure.
before Baldur's Gate. And all of my Forgotten Realms is Baldur's Gate and Spelljammer, so...
But also our table, so there could very well be Vidalkin.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. So that's fine. We have access to astral space. People,
sure,
whatever.
exactly.
We cross realms. But anyway, he's a sea elf. And is swimming down there with you. All four of you swimming down?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay, great. Or I guess you could just cast water breathing.
Yeah,
It's
because
not
I
as-
don't think I would be able to. I don't think Vir would specifically be equipped for water.
But I don't think you need to breathe.
I suppose,
that,
yeah.
that way, or like you,
actually,
or at least you could be underwater for a period of time.
Yeah.
And then, eventually you come back up to respirate, but yeah.
Mhm.
If anything, you'd probably have trouble sinking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But anyway, the four of you swim down and you're able to talk while you're underwater because you have either water breathing or whatever, right? Whatever breathing. And you get down into that deeper area. It's so dark. But let's see, you have dark vision. You don't need dark vision?
No, I think. Hold on. Do I? That's a really good question. I think I actually do. I do. 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we all
And
do.
I can actually hold my breath for an hour. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
And you, Goliath has dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And he will just cast dark vision on himself as well. I don't remember how many of those are concentration spells, and I don't care right now.
And he has a mushroom that gives him dark vision.
Right, yeah.
Whee!
Okay. So anyway, you all swim down, and once you get past that opening, you realize it's fairly expansive under here. It's maybe 400 square feet of, that's like a small studio apartment. It's exactly the size of my first studio apartment, 400 square feet. So, you know, it's about that much space, a little bit bigger than our studio. And that's like, there's this tiny little crevice that just, you gotta go through one person at a time. And then when you get down there, it opens up into this slightly larger space under the surface there. And there's maybe 15 or 20 clams that are rooted to the ground. It's like they have a tap root. They have like tendrils into the mud, right? So they're sort of like a plant, sort of like a clam. You know, it's not like they're attached to other nautical things, right? They're just sort of stuck in the dirt. And they're not really buried in the dirt either. They're just, the base of them is like settled into the dirt. And, you know, there's a fairly just convivial conversation, and he's asking about like, well, maybe I could just take one of these little ones. And that's sort of neither here nor there. Maybe you decided that was okay, maybe not. Right? Totally fine. But just for the camera and for us, we have a moment of like, here, yeah, come look, and you can sort of pry them open without hurting them, right? Like,
Yeah.
You open them up, and it just, the camera sees like we pry back these black plates and just see something full of meat.
I knew it.
It's just meat inside. And you would have to pull it far enough apart to be able to put it onto somebody, but pull apart these black plates and there's just meat inside. And that's where we'll call it for episode 16 of the Astral Circus here on happyjacksrpg. Thank you to our chat mods who make this possible. We wouldn't get to do this live. That's half of when you get to watch this, live or later. Those are the only two options. So thank you, chat mods, for making that possible. Patreons, let us do this ad-free, independent, and unmelted. The AC is running, thanks to you.
Yeah.
This shit's expensive. We're in Southern California. It's hot now. It's late June in Southern California, if you're listening to this much later. And it's hot, and we would die in here. So it
would just not be possible to do summertime games.
we just wouldn't do it. We'd do it from home. It'd be remote. That's fine. Remote games are great, but like, it's so much more fun to get to do it here. So thank you for keeping our lights on and our AC on and our internet and all those things. It also means we don't have to do silly ads and that kind of thing. You know, none of us are getting paid. We do this for the love of it. And if you can contribute to the Patreon, that's great. We know not everyone can, especially now. Things are tough. But if you've got the extra $5 even, it helps. It helps. Let's start with Jay.
Hi, everybody. I am Jay, and I've played Veer, the Myconid ranger. If anybody's curious, by the way, Myconid's not an official like D&D race right now, so I reskinned a Plasmoid. It seemed like it just fit really, really well for that anyway. You can find me at JAfrica on most of the socials. You can also find me in the Happy Jacks back catalog. I've got kind of a lot going on right now. And so I'm kind of keeping it with this stream for the time being. But there are a few other projects that I will be sharing at a future date that I'm very, very excited about. And as Jason said, if you're able to support us on Patreon, that would be awesome. But if not, I hope that you're enjoying our game here, our little side trek. And I hope you're taking care of yourself and those who you love and the folks who are close to you, because like I said, I've got a lot going on. I'm sure you've got a lot going on. We've all got a lot going on. The world's got a lot going on. So hope that you've been enjoying being with us here.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I use they, them pronouns, and I have been Night Friend, your friendly neighborhood Goliath Spore Druid. You can find me on the internet under my author pen name, Sylvie Hellstaff, at Sylvie Hellstaff on TikTok and on Blue Sky. If you like romance and monsters, you might want to check out my books. I have a new one that actually came out last week. It's this one right here called Lust and Found. This is the paperback version. I do the artwork as well. if you need a distraction story, I highly recommend this one. It is wholesome. It is spicy. Don't read if you're not over 18. There's a lot of queer joy and hope and community building in this, along with a very spicy love story. Check it out if you like those sorts of things. I'm actually going to be doing my first author event. Exciting. At a store called The Open Book. It's an independent bookstore here in LA. They have a couple branches. On the 5th, there is a local author fair at the Open Book in Canyon Country in Santa Clarita. So if you're local and you want to check that out, I'm going to be there. Some other authors are going to be there. We're going to be doing readings and having books for sale. So it's a cool little event.
That's awesome. Is
Yeah,
that
I'm really
Sunday? Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Saturday, June 5th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can check out Open Book on Instagram. They have all the information there on their page. If you can't make it to that and you still want to check out my books, go to sylviehellstaff.com, where I can point you. My website is there. You can join my newsletter if you want to keep up with the artwork that I make and stories that I tell.
And it's such good artwork.
Thank
that
you.
Sam makes themselves, which is just so amazing.
I don't use AI for anything, not for writing, not for art, but I do post like character art, illustrations based on the books, and all that kind of fun stuff on my site and also on my socials, so check it out.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that you're doing other events.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Oh, also, last thing, on my itch.io store, I put up a free preview that has the first 2 chapters of this book, so you can kind of check out the writing and see if it's for you, if you want.
Yeah.
And I would say, very much, like, highly recommended.
Yeah.
All
Same.
3 books,
you.
actually.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Pooja, I don't use pronouns, and I've been playing Ezthe Perah, your friendly neighborhood thimbo. And we are playtesting a sorcerer subclass called the Martial Sorcerer, Jason has made, and it's been so much fun. It has changed somewhat between previous episodes and today. If you want to hear more about that, you can check out Jason's channel. It's probably okay. Last Wednesday, we did like a big workshopping session where we went through the subclass and like tweaked a bunch of stuff. I think it's going to be really fun to play with the changes that we made. If you want to hear me play more TTRPGs, you can find me on the happyjacks back catalog. You can find me on Queen's Court Games, both on Mekong, Southeast Asian space opera mech story that we did.
It was really fun.
So much fun, so much crying.
There were some tears.
We put the opera in space opera.
Yeah.
And
It was
also, which I believe is coming out this week, I've got a really short Unknown Armies campaign called Maria in 3 parts, also on Queen's Court Games.
Nice.
If you want to hear and watch me make weird shit, I have a YouTube channel called Forgotten Curiosities. I'm turning my craft room into like a fantasy. I have the word sometimes.
Artificer?
Thank you. I'm like
I'm so
alchemist.
excited for
No,
your
but-
artificer workshop.
and I've been working on that. I've got an update video coming out this week where bonus for y'all watching now, or a little preview, is that I have refinished the big cabinet set and also like a bunch of other little things around the room. So we're definitely on our way, but the scope creep is real. So there's a lot more coming.
I have to say too, as someone who's enjoyed your videos, I don't know that I would call them like DIY. Like, you're not teaching us how to do the thing, but you can get a lot from it. I will say, just as somebody who is, I'm a little bit handy with power tools, but I don't always know what to do. Watching Pooja work on this stuff, I was like, oh, that's how you could do this. And then like, it was also just nice to like have it on while I was doing something else, probably playing Baldur's Gate 3. That's fine. I know what I am. But like, it's also a very like soothing vibe of like, oh, that's nice. I'm glad this is happening, right?
I do love having, as someone who, especially since lockdown, I have found that I really love like a slightly longer form YouTube video where like I can just put it on and it's like somebody's there with me even when no one is there with me and nobody's been there with me for months.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely okay with that, not having a mental breakdown. Like, YouTube has gotten me through a lot.
Yeah.
And it pleases me a lot to to fulfill that with for someone else.
Yeah, and the art of the longer form video is totally lost. Like that's What are these, like 15 minutes?
It just really depends.
But like 15, 20.
Like, I think the shortest one I put out so far is 15, and the longer one was probably 40. Like,
Yeah.
I want to keep it in that space. Like, hour plus whatever just gets really unwieldy, and like, it's not something I want to do, which is part of the reason why I've broken this up. Because I was originally just going to make one big video when I finished the craft room, and then realized it was going to be like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
We don't need
forever.
that. Oh, and I guess, or is that?
And yeah, and then my last thing, as usual, I just want to encourage people to look to their local communities. You can search mutual aid and your city's name and find a lot of great people doing work local to you. These are people who live in your neighborhoods. These are people who are doing the work that we need on the ground, and it's really, really satisfying on like a deep soul level to work in your community and build those bonds.
And often there are things you can do for mutual aid that doesn't cost you money,
Yes.
right? You don't have to donate money. You can donate your time. There are lots of ways you can help usually, and it's just worth it to look that up. Look up your mutual aid. And if you only have money for happyjacks or mutual aid, give them your money. But if you're able to do both, that's great. Thank you, but look for mutual aid first. If we take care of each other, if we take care of our communities, then everything else falls into place. That's it. We just treat people with dignity and respect. I'm Jason. You can find me on Blue Sky and Twitch at It's Probably Okay. I've had a very successful Blue Sky post this week. That it was my most successful ever so far. I haven't been super active on Blue Sky, but I don't know, it was like 60 some interactions or something. Like,
Wow.
for me, that's a big deal. I'm not some big internet celebrity. But you can follow me there. I'm starting to post stuff more. You can also check out my game Demigods at probablyokgames.com. And then on Twitch at It's Probably Okay. I play games that are hard and I die a lot. On Wednesday, we'll be restarting our playthrough with Dion and the honor mode playthrough to get Dion the golden dice.
Well, continuing. We don't have to restart.
Well, yeah, yes, to re-continue because we took a couple weeks.
We took a week off,
Yeah.
but like now it's just continuing because
Yeah.
otherwise we would have to. We came very close to actually having to restart.
Yeah, that was a tough fight.
It was really tough.
But anyway, you can check those VODs on my channel as well. I should probably push those to my YouTube. That's fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to see more stuff from my channel, let me know. Oh, and Fridays on my channel, I am co-designing a TTRPG currently called The Dragon Game with Sam Delev. And we just had devlog 8, I think. Hit the, cracked the code for our dice, started putting skill and attribute stuff together, and got a real good core system working that I'm excited about. So
Love it.
yeah, come. It's going to be a game about the harm that hoarding wealth can cause. It does cause, and what it would mean to do something about that.
I like it.
I'm
Fuck
very
some
excited.
shit up.
I'm very excited to test this game out.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week for the next Astral Circus.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.